But damn, bro. What do you see? The cult of personality. I know your names. I've done been everything you want to be. I'm the cult of personality. Yeah.
What a show.
What a couple of marks. Welcome, everybody. It's the One Shot Killers podcast. I am your host, a hardcore icon, Brandon Scott Noon. Yeah. With your co-host, the king of bog style, JoJo Valvano. Yeah.
What is up, my brother?
Not much. Just got done watching a banger fucking episode for the premiere episode of All Elite Wrestling Collision and just got home from work. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. I got home like 4 or 5 hours ago. But
what?
It was a good day, though, man. How was your day?
Oh, my day was pretty good. Just chilled at work. Dad got like some kind of like parade or some shit going on in the town.
You deserve it.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
Yes, sir. Because I was not busy at all. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm in probably such a good mood because I didn't do shit.
Yeah.
I got paid to not do shit.
Yes. Let's start it off the only way we know how, good brother. With
yes.
CM
Punk.
And to that Chicago guy that said CM Junk.
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, pal. Even the Chicago crowd said, fuck your sign. Fuck your sign. Fire his ass. Damn it. I had to replay it, bro, because I knew I heard that.
And then you see it's Vince McMahon sitting in the crowd with his fuck you, Phil.
What are you doing? Get the camera off me, pal.
I'm not supposed to be here, damn it. It's past my bedtime.
Oh, you do the Vince McMahon stuff so funny, bro.
You know, I was in the bath playing with my rubber duckies, and then my fucking doofus son-in-law had to come in, and then he goes, Dad, I can't sleep. And I was like, I don't give a fuck if you can't sleep, pal. I'm trying to play with my rubber duckies.
I can't sleep now either because you're talking to me.
You know what? Get out! You're fired.
Yeah, pal. Kiss my ass, too.
And then you see Triple H go, Mwah.
Shit, bro. Well, let's take a hit.
And, let's see. Here we go, bro. All right, yeah.
Yeah. Talk to me. Yeah.
Shit. Oh, here we go. Yeah. You know what? We'll do a hit for our boy because Last Week in Wrestling podcast is in this bitch. Yeah,
buddy. How are you motherfuckers doing? What's going on? We're cracking a cold one for this one because I tell you now, AEW Collision, 4 out of 5. I have to say that right off the bat. It was a 4 out of 5. I'm gonna quickly go through it while you guys take your big ass hits and choke to death and everything because I'll have to run the show because you guys will both be dead, comatose for the rest of the evening. But I will say this absolutely. Go right ahead.
All right. What I was gonna say before we get into the show, you said you cracked a cold one, right?
Always.
Shit. Well, while we're taking a hit, take a swig.
Listen, I got you.
Stone Cold.
Let's go.
Stone Cold.
Oh, you guys ready?
Yes, sir. He's ready. I got a
torch. Yeah, he's already fucking going. Fucking JoJo's like, listen, I've been doing this shit since this morning, 6 a.m. So we're just gonna keep passing. I'm gonna go with Brandon. I'm gonna wait for Brandon. Brandon's like, I'm taking 2 days. Give me a second. All right, we're just getting loaded. All right. So give me a moment. All right.
I gotta feel this. I gotta stick it in here to fill this up. But
I got you.
This is real tears.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
bro.
no, we got a lot to talk about tonight. I tell you that. So I hope you guys have your shit charged. You guys are ready to go because tonight, definitely it impressed me. I have a lot to say though. I have a lot to say.
Oh, bro,
So,
and I can't wait. There we go. She's torching.
all right, listen. I'm cool. I'm chilling. My hand's becoming fucking iceberg right now. All right, so I'm waiting for you, buddy.
All right. Well, all I got to do is get this hot enough. So it takes about 20 seconds to get her heated. So I can already see smoke coming. So
I'm
here we
good.
go.
I'm waiting.
All right. I'm gonna do
I bought a 12 pack and I got 2 left.
3, 2, 1. Burn!
He's doing it for Stone. One cough, 3 cough.
All right.
Good.
So I have to say this right now. I was scared. I was absolutely scared that CM Punk, when he came out, was going to say something or cause more drama that he did prior to the media scrum. Now, I know me and you, JoJo, have been talking about this. I know you're a fan of Punk. I see you wearing the shirt. And I know you've been very, very excited for this. But I have to say this now. As a fan of wrestling, as a fan that takes this business as just as serious as a lot of other superstars do, I was very nervous that he was going to come out and cause more problems with what he was going to say. Now, mind you, he did take a shot at Hangman, and he did take a shot at the Young Bucks. Now, whether or not that was just to kind of play off what has happened, or continue the feud that started at the media scrum, is two different things. Now, if we go back a moment, he did apologize to Tony Khan before coming to Collision, which honestly, I think shows accountability. Brandon, your mic's off. It shows accountability, which I think a lot of people need to take. But at the same time, he went on ESPN and badmouthed Hangman Page. Now, I know Tony approved that moment on ESPN. So if that's just to build on to what has happened prior, okay, cool, whatever, I can get over it. I'm not going to sit there and hold him accountable for it. But if it wasn't approved by Tony, then we're back at the same situation we were with the media scrum. Which is then something, if you're building a brand new brand for AEW Collision, there's a whole different conversation. But I think that Punk handled himself very well this evening. I think his coming out and saying what he said was perfect. I think that with what he said and how he presented himself was good. And I think that putting him in that 6-man tag, if you watched the Last Week in Wrestling podcast before, we were just talking about it, that Willie was the one that pointed this out, and Wolf kind of reiterated it, was that it was smart to put him in that 6-man tag than a singles match. Because, yes, he still looked like a superhero in Chicago by getting the win. But you made everybody else look good as well. Especially Samoa Joe, and especially the Bullet Club, and also FTR. So I think the 6-man tag was a smart idea for Punk's return. I would like to see more of those things happen before we get into the single feuds that we know Punk is going to get into. So I think overall the show is a 4 out of 5. But I think that if whatever the fuck is in Punk's bag, if it is a title, that's where he's going to fuck up. Because to me, he may say he didn't lose this opportunity. He didn't lose the belt per se, but he lost the belt. If it wasn't MJF, it could have been Hangman, it could have been Kenny, it could have been anybody else. Now, I also think, I see you, Brandon, I also see that dog collar match, him being a little resentful for how it ended. Which, it was a good match. Whether you like that type of style of wrestling, whether you like that those two men got into it that graphically, I think that this was something that it was good to touch upon because it's another feud that we could definitely bring back again. But at the same time, I think that if what's in Punk's bag is a replica belt, is not the move for him to do just coming back. So that's where I think he could go wrong. So I'm curious, like everybody else, like if we were watching the movie 7, what's in the box? What's in that fucking bag? Because if it is a replica belt, just because he's either resentful of how it ended, losing to MJF, losing that opportunity, losing that belt to Moxley, losing that to whoever, then okay, I understand the frustration. But I don't think the approach is the approach you should be going for, especially with everything that has transpired prior. I think that if you're going to come back, that you need to have more moments like he's had this evening, leading back into single feuds to get back to that title opportunity. I don't think that him pulling out whatever's in that bag, if it is a title, is the idea people want to have. Of course, people like you, people like Brandon, people that are a fan of Punk, like myself, who is, well, I should say was a fan of Punk, but after the media scrum, I kind of disliked him from everything and how he handled himself. But as a fan of Punk, prior to that media scrum, who watched his Ring of Honor stuff, who studied his tapes with Eddie and Ray, who watched his upcoming from being that mafia guy for Cena's entrance to having those moments in WWE, I'm excited. I'm excited to see Punk back in action. But at the same time, I know Punk is also Punk. And I know if things don't go his way, he will do whatever it is to make it his way, which is what we saw prior. So I'm excited to see where this goes, but I'm nervous for where it could go if it is 6 months down the line to where he doesn't get an opportunity for a belt of that type of magnitude. So it's a 50-50 with where Punk's going to be at for Collision. But if they're going to keep putting him and making him look as good as he did this evening, then I think that his coming back is going to be one that we will remember forever. So that's where I stand with that. Because I know you both are very much, I know JoJo, CM Punk fan, me and him were talking about it today on Instagram. It's like, bro, I'm so excited for this show. Like CM Punk, I'm a big fan. And I'm like, all right. So I watched. I watched. And I mean, I watch all of this shit. Don't get me wrong. Like this is what we do. We're content creators. We have to watch it. Besides being fans, besides being those like, oh my God, it's WWE. Oh my God, it's Ring of Honor. Oh my God. It's like, we need to watch. We need to understand what's really going on here. And the way that Tony handled Punk tonight was perfect. It was perfect. I think that itself showed Tony's booking ability 5 out of 5. But if Punk starts to get excited, and starts falling off that train track, there is that possibility of another incident. And if he wants another title opportunity, okay, cool. It's not that he doesn't deserve it. I don't think that at all. You look at his past, you look at his accolades, you look at where he's come from, he definitely deserves it. He's definitely in that top 10, that top 20. For many people, he's in that top 5. But for people who have watched CM Punk and seen what he's capable of in and out of the ring, being on Instagram, being on Twitter, being on the media scrum, being on ESPN, apologizing, then going back on his apology by talking shit. It's like, okay, where are we going with this? Because you're being accepted back into wrestling as, okay, I'm excited. You apologized. You took accountability for your actions. Good. It shows that you know you fucked up. But then at the same time, you're going on ESPN and talking shit about somebody that you still work with. And again, if it's a work, it's a work. Cool, great. It's totally different. But if you're doing another media scrum now on a different platform, not mind you, a platform that is twice, if not 4 times bigger than AEW and what it is currently, that's a problem. So I hope that we get more of what we saw tonight out of Punk. And I hope, because he said it, this is a wrestling business. And he emphasized business. And he has to realize that this is a business. This isn't just hanging out in the backyard, bullshitting with friends, JR in the background. No. This is a business. So, to me, this is something that we need to see more of before he gets that opportunity.
I agree. Now, one thing that I want to ask you guys is, what do you... first of all, I gotta admit, excited that CM Punk came back tonight. That crowd, maybe it's because it's Chicago, they fucking blew the roof off the place. And now I gotta admit, I thought CM Punk was talking mad shit, JoJo. And Dylan, I honestly thought he was just in there like legit when he talked about the Bucks and Hangman a little bit. I thought, damn, and every time he would say something, he'd be like, and tell me when I lied. Where's the lie? Where's the lie? And I'm like, dude, like, you might be spitting facts, but you're kind of coming off as an asshole.
See, something like that, like, I understand, because half of that is a work, half of that is truth.
It doesn't
there is no lie to what he's saying. We have to realize something. CM Punk is one of those guys who can say he is the best in the world. Because at a moment of time, CM Punk in WWE, not AEW, mind you, in WWE at a period of time was the best in that sport. He was putting on, if you go by Dave Meltzer, if you go by other people in the wrestling community as critics, you will see that he was putting on 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5 matches compared to legends like The Rock and Cena matches, compared to main event cards. So at a period of time, he was the best in the world.
And with the dog collar match to mention, do you think he still is?
That was a great match, bro. I was there for that dog collar match in Revolution.
Wait, for real?
Yeah, Revolution 2022. That's when MJF came out to his music and the crowd booed him while I cheered him because I'm the man. Dum, 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 dum.
And, bro, and then CM Punk coming out to that old Ring of Honor entrance, bro.
Oh, I popped for that, bro.
That was just so fucking sick. Like, what was the crowd like for that?
Dude, they were so fire, bro, for like
Yeah.
all the matches. Even Moxley and Bryan, bro. There was I remember starting a "We Want Violence," and there was a dude literally was looking at me saying he needs help. I was like, yeah,
I love that.
And what did you think of tonight, JoJo, when CM Punk came out and what Dylan was talking about with CM Punk's promo as well? And how much of that's a shoot and how much of that's a work to you?
I think he's right about a lot of it. That it is a lot of a work and a shoot at the same time. Like they're both like I agree with him honestly, because Punk is an asshole at times. He is Punk. Like I'm a big Punk fan, and this is the thing about me. I'll actually admit when people are assholes, and he has a very petty
Big one.
attitude. Like he has an ego, like a giant ego.
Huge.
Love you, Punk.
Huge.
Phil, but come on, bro. You got a big
bro, that
ego,
fucking
bro.
that fucking ego may as well be as big as the Big Show when he was 500 pounds,
if not bigger.
Mm-hmm.
For real.
But you know, there's no denying though, when that Chicago crowd hears CM Punk's entrance, there's an excitement you get. You can feel it in the TV, you can feel it in the audience, and legit, there was no surprise that this place went crazy for him. And fucking, even when he was talking shit, they were on his side. We heard "fuck the elite, fuck the elite, fuck the elite."
Yeah.
And so I thought that was a crazy turn, because for the coming weeks, it's all been hate towards CM Punk.
Fuck
Yeah.
CM Punk. Fuck CM Punk. That's
So-
all I heard at
See, go ahead, Brandon, because I have something to say to that.
So it makes me wonder, is this only because we're in Punk country, Chicago, Illinois, or if we had brung him back into another state, another town, would there have been a different reaction?
Yeah, I believe so. I honestly do, because I know there's a lot of places that don't like Punk.
No.
I'm sure it's Chicago.
No.
It's obviously
They hate him.
Long Island, New York.
yeah, Long Island
okay, so
hates him, bro.
all right. See, I wouldn't say that, because here's the thing: we have to. I'm a little wasted, so I gotta choose my words wisely here, gentlemen. All right, I've been drinking for a little bit now. All right, boys. So I definitely gotta choose my words wisely. But listen,
you're good.
I have to say this. Like, forget being a Long Islander for a second. All right, let's just take that out of the equation. If we split it down the middle between people who love CM Punk for what he's done, for what he's given to the business, fuck Logan Paul, but not prime drink, but for what he's done, what he has given to the business, for everything that he has given onto his body, and everything that he's willing to do for the business itself, compared to the moments that he's had where he hasn't looked the best. If you split it that way, it's 50-50. Now, a lot of that 50-50, though, is fake hate. A lot of it, as you know, let's be honest here. I'll break the fourth wall. All right, we're content creators.
Yes.
Besides being wrestling fans who've grown up with this stuff, who've seen different eras, who've seen different moments, who've seen the rises and the falls of superstars that we've known to love or love to hate, we are content creators. So as content creators, it is our job to split it down the middle and be almost not biased, but be as truthful as possible. Now, when I did an episode on High Side of the Ropes, there was, when this was just like when CM Punk was getting talked about again, about coming back to wrestling. I said it was a really bad idea. And I still stand to that point. I said that he shouldn't be allowed back in that squared ring, because everything that he did in that media scrum tarnished everything that he has built for himself going into AEW. And I still stand by that. I still do.
Why is that?
Because if you look at CM Punk's history, CM Punk, without a doubt, is one of the greatest wrestlers of either our generation, the generation that's come after us, the one that's come before us, or the one that's kind of in the middle between the both of us. He is one of the best wrestlers that we have seen that is pure, authentic wrestling. There's not that many people that we could genuinely say that are either on steroids, that are doing it for the lights and camera, the fame, that are not out there to actually perform for the crowd, that's not actually there to give us what we want, that is not for us people who are going out there to paying that $100, $200 for tickets to go sit, that we work so hard for that week just to go see our favorite wrestler perform. That is what he's doing it for. He is one of those guys. He's one of those Randy Ortons. He's one of those Undertakers. He's one of those Ric Flairs. He's doing it for us. He's not out there doing it for himself like a lot of other wrestlers that we have seen come and go in this business on any type of promotion, come and go throughout their time. So CM Punk, for that itself, is one of those guys. And I think that to him gives him a huge leverage to what he is actually standing for this business. So to me, when you decide to go out of your way on a media scrum to cause that much tension internally on a business that hasn't really gotten its footing yet, that's still kind of crawling to walking in a business promotion against promotions like WWE, Ring of Honor, TNA, NXT, and all the other ones in between, you have to realize that doing something that you did is going to cause a lot of backlash and is going to take that step backwards in growth. So if you're going to go out of your way to say, I don't like working with these EVPs, the Colt Cabanas, the Hangman Pages, all of this shit, because they're not willing to work with me. They're not willing to understand where I'm coming from. They're not doing it for what I'm doing it for. They're not doing it for the fans. They're doing it for the money. They're doing it for this, that, and the third. Then you're now taking a business that's still growing in growth and taking it a whole bunch of steps backwards to where now a lot of the people that have been there from the beginning, the Jerichos, the Daniel Garcias, the MJFs, the Cody Rhodes, and putting it on their shoulders to now rebuild that business back to where you just took it away from.
Does it make it more embarrassing that was their first $1 million gate, and not the fact that you have the owner of the company sitting right beside you? And I have to make a claim real quick, all right? And I want us to really think about this. You have the owner of the company sitting right beside you. You literally say, in his words, and I quote, I am trying to run a business here, and that because of me, we sold our first $1 million gates, and we got EVP spreading basically what he claimed to be false news about getting Colt Cabana fired from AEW, and it's like, and he literally said, if they don't like it, come to my locker room and find me. They came to his locker room and found him. Now, if this had been Vincent Kennedy McMahon sitting right,
none of this would have happened. Let's be very frank here. None of the media scrum outlet would have never have happened if Vincent Kennedy McMahon was still in charge of WWE. We now have press conferences for WWE after pay-per-views, which have mimicked AEW. So, to your point, Brandon, I know we're talking a lot about CM Punk tonight. I know there's a whole bunch of other cars and shit like that to talk about. We'll get to that, but this is definitely something everybody and that's the point I'm making is everybody who says fuck CM Punk, fuck him for this, fuck him for what he did, F him for this, F him for that. It's like, okay, but are you doing that because it's a part of the train of fuck CM Punk? Or are you doing that because you're understanding where he's come from to where he's been to where he would like to go? Because to the point I'm saying is if you split it down the middle, a lot of the people that say fuck CM Punk are doing it for the trend. Which is in our society, as content creators, non-content creators, kids, adults, or whatever, everybody wants to be on a trend. Everybody wants to be somebody. So you have to eliminate those people that are saying fuck CM Punk, that are just saying fuck CM Punk without anything to actually back up their words for that fuck CM Punk moment.
Oh,
if they're coming out of their way to say fuck CM Punk because this, that, and the third, he's built all of these things and then demolished it by saying what he said for AEW and demolished AEW's growth and has taken them a step backwards instead of a step forward. Now Jericho and all these other people have to take it upon their shoulders to now rebuild it and bring it back to where it was and continue the growth afterwards. Then okay, cool, you understand what's going on. But if you're just saying fuck CM Punk because it's like, oh, Johnny said fuck CM Punk, and I like Johnny, so fuck CM Punk, then okay, your opinion don't matter.
Yep, and I agree with you, but what I was meaning with Vince is, so Tony Khan was sitting right beside Punk when he was spraying all this bullshit. If Vince McMahon had been sitting right beside him, and this was WWE,
it would have been cut.
You're fired.
You're fired. Right.
And that's, and that's just something else that we have to really understand and also give accountability where accountability is due. Is Tony Khan, as nice a guy as he is one of the softest bosses and CEOs of professional wrestling.
Oh, absolutely.
He has to realize that these adults can act like children. And if that CM Punk moment wasn't that light switch on, he now needs to step up. He now has to, in these moments, after pay-per-views, go, no, you can't say that shit. Cut. What the fuck are you doing? This is not what we talked about. This isn't what you were supposed to say. Get the fuck out of here. Next person. He can't just sit there bug-eyed and not do anything about it. He can't sit there bug-eyed and let his employees get attacked and not do anything about it till a week or two later. He can't sit there bug-eyed and go, what do I do here?
I thought he was coked out.
A lot of people do. And maybe he is. I don't know. Yeah, I would like to know him on a personal level, but I don't know. But so hopefully one day we get to all know him. But, generally speaking, because, like, if you see, and to your point, Brandon, like, if you watch, as content creators, we all have to watch this shit. I dread having to watch AEW All Access. I'd rather take a calculus test than watch AEW All Access. I'd rather perform brain surgery Ray Charles blind than watch AEW All Access, okay? But I do.
Don't watch it.
I do. I watch it because as a content creator, I have to. As a content creator, I have to understand the front part of the camera and their back part of the camera. Just like I listen to everyone's podcasts, like I listen to your stuff, like I listen to High Side of the Ropes, like I listen to Willie's, like I listen to Wolf's, like I listen. I consume so much content 7 days a week, and we've all talked about this. But I consume so much content between up-and-coming content creators, the large format ones like the Chris Vanderbilts, all of them. I do. I really do. Because I want to hear everyone's opinion. Because a lot of them are repetitious and they sound the same. And the other ones, they're very different. They sound a lot more interesting. They have better points. They bring a different viewing to a lot of situations that a lot of other people aren't really speaking about. So I consume, and Brandon knows, like he'll tell you, I consume a lot. I'm in Twitter Spaces, buddy. I'm in everybody's moment. I'm like a fly on the fucking wall listening to this shit. So as somebody as somebody that listens to all of this and watches all of this stuff, rewatches pay-per-views, rewatches shows, I look at it as two different things. I'm a fan first, so of course I'm excited. Like when Jey Uso kicked the shit out of fucking Roman Reigns last night and gave him TMJ, I lost my mind. You know what I mean? I said, holy shit, this is really happening. This is the Civil War moment we've been waiting for. But then tonight, I looked at it differently. I was like, okay, what the fuck's going on? What the hell is CM Punk with the microphone? He took the Collision thing off. Oh my God, I'm shitting bricks. Like, this isn't going well. But it did well. It did good. So, to your point, because I'm a little drunk, so I go a little off topic. But to your point, okay. to your point, Tony Khan, as a boss, needs to start acting like a boss. Because if Tony Khan continues to allow things like that to happen in his company that's trying to compete with promotions like WWE, GCW, TNA, New Japan, and other big promotions that are independent or professional, this is something that's going to bury him quicker than the WCW. Honestly, it's a fact. It's a fact. We saw how WCW got buried. It was the lackluster of direction and the lackluster of content for the show. Now, what's nice about AEW is, though there's moments where AEW isn't as exciting, and I do watch your show, so I hear JoJo and I hear you guys talk about it, there are times where AEW isn't exciting. Women matches aren't given the proper look. The title divisions for tag team, TNT, AEW aren't given the look that they deserve. But then there's moments where it's like, holy shit, that was a really good AEW. Holy shit, that was a good Rampage. Okay? We're talking about Rampage, all right? We're not talking about Evolution or Dark. We're talking about Rampage, okay? Look how well Evolution and Dark did. They're gone, okay? So, bye-bye. Now we got clusterfuck, as Cody Cornette would say, all right? We got clusterfuck Collision. We have to realize that Tony Khan has 3 major promotions that he's running. And if things like that happen in moments that matter so much, whether it's a very good Revolution or a decent Double or Nothing or what have you, you can't have moments where your professional wrestlers start going off the rails and breaking that fourth wall in front of bigger media content creators.
Exactly.
Because then your growth takes 5 to 10 steps back.
And, I think, too, work or shoot, this was a dumb idea because, I was telling you, fucking All Out that last year was their first $1 million gate.
Yep.
The company is still in a growing state. And so, you cannot be doing dumb shit like this. And now ESPN is one of the biggest sports media outlets on the planet. And you're going on there and doing this dumb shit. Why? All you have to do is hype up Collision. That's it. I'm back. Yep, the injury sucked. I'm not going to talk about the brawl out situation. Right. I'm going to be professional. And then, hey, Collision.
See, but the thing though is, and I want to hear from JoJo because I know me and you have been talking throughout this whole fucking thing. But Tony approved of it.
That's crazy.
That's what makes it a shoot. And then that's okay because to us it makes now the show. Oh, well, now I gotta watch AEW Collision. Now I have to watch AEW Dynamite. Oh, I have to watch this pay-per-view because if Punk or Hangman or MJF or whoever it may be goes out of their way to cause some problems, stir the pot, whatever you want to say, metaphorically wise, then, well, now I got to watch the show. Now I have to watch the pay-per-view because if it's an approved shoot, well then
it's a work.
It's a work, and if it's a work on now a different platform that's 4 times bigger than AEW, well, what now can we do to make money? Where can't we go wrong? And that's cool. That I'm okay with that. Listen, he could go on Good Morning America. He could go on fucking your local news station. He could go on whatever and say he could have a T-shirt that says "Fuck Hangman, Adam Page." He could. He could say "Fuck the Elite, fuck Hangman, Adam Page, fuck Tony Khan." If Tony Khan approves it, then there's no harm, no foul. And it's when there is a harm and a foul, and Tony Khan's sitting there bug-eyed going, I don't know how to handle this. I didn't expect this to happen. That's where you go wrong. That's when you take 10 steps back. That's when your promotion company doesn't grow anymore. And now you're in the driver's seat on a car that's almost running at E and is on fucking fire. So,
and I think to that point too, I kind of thought it was kind of like this. He was just like, "Oh, holy shit! Oh, yeah, what the fuck? Oh, what the fuck's going on, everybody? Oh, holy shit! There's a lot of people here. Holy fuck! What's going on? There's security guards running on the side of my." Because look, if you notice when you watch the video, you can see the security guards run by. Fucking, you knew he had to see it out the corner of his eye, and he's probably like, "Oh fuck, I'm gonna get arrested! Holy shit!" And
they pulled down my pants right now, and I think I'm gonna get busted. I'm losing it.
Better hide this, and that's probably what he was thinking, and that's why he didn't do nothing.
But I wanna hear from JoJo real quick, like everything that I kind of spurted out, because I me and you have talked throughout the day and everything. So, I know you're a fan of CM Punk, and I understand your love for CM Punk. I understand your love for AEW Collision. You said you were very excited. You got to watch it with your father, which is a really great moment, and I hope you never forget that. And I hope that, the show is definitely everything that you wanted it to be, if not more. But I want to hear from you, everything that me and Brandon have been saying, what do you think now? What is your take on everything? Because to me, do you agree? Do you think that I'm wrong? Because I love diversity. So if I'm wrong, buddy. Don't be afraid to hurt my feelings or whatever. If you can tell me, hey, you know what, Dylan? Fuck you. You're wrong. You know what I mean? Definitely.
I honestly agree with you, man. I agree with both you guys. I do think he is one of my favorites, and that's just, it's always been like that.
Right.
But he is Punk, like you said.
Right.
He's Phil Brooks. He loves to be, I'm not gonna lie and say I'm not I get him at times, but I don't like when he does shit like that. I get he likes to call shit out, but sometimes he goes way, way, way too far, and it's I don't get why he had to mention them tonight. He could have just I don't know. There was times I thought that was kind of pointless. I would have just started a wrestling match. I would have started Andrade versus Buddy Matthews.
Right.
Because I don't know. I don't want to see another world title in that bag. That's what he basically said. It's basically a world title from what he said. And I don't want to deal with another world championship. What's up, brother?
Thank you. Oh, my iPad charger, and fucking then it kind of fucked up for a minute, and I was like, wait, what the fuck? But I'm back.
Yeah, good, but yeah, continue, JoJo. I'm liking what I'm hearing. So
yeah, it's just like I said. He's CM Punk. He's gonna be one of my favorites, but unlike other fans, I'm actually gonna call his shit out because I don't respect the shit that he's been saying. Honestly, he didn't have to come back and say that promo. I would have just started, like I said, Buddy Matthews versus Andrade. Start off with a good match instead of just, I don't know, that promo just didn't really do much for me. It was good, I guess, but it wasn't, I don't know.
It wasn't the way you want to start the show.
Yeah, like honestly, in my heart, I thought he was gonna start the show off because he did say I got a lot to say, and I was kind of worried because it's CM Punk, man. He's
I was
outspoken.
shitting bricks when he said that shit. I was like, I gotta change my underwear 3 times right now because I think I just loaded up right now on fucking explosions right now, bro. Like
Damn.
when he said I got a lot to get off my chest, I was like, I don't got a lot in my body. You know what I mean? Like I don't really have a lot. I got maybe like a slice of pizza. I got a buttered roll. I got some water. I got some beer and chips. Like I don't got a lot right now. So like whatever you got to say, I don't know if I can process it. So
I wanna honestly, like I'm a big CM Punk fan, like I said, but I want to get off the CM Punk topics, really, to be honest, because it's just to me like it was good, but Andrade versus Buddy Matthews,
fire.
holy shit!
Yeah.
Like holy shit! This match deserves to be talked about a lot more.
Yeah.
Like I said, that promo just
And
it was all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you guys rant for a little bit, and I'll come in at the end. But I agree. I would say this probably. I'll just say this real quick. Andrade never lost a step.
Yes,
he got a.
Andrade never lost a step. Yeah, like I was impressed.
And that's what I wanted to talk about to you guys. A lot of amazing talent that haven't gotten much time were shining tonight, shining, bro. And we even got a promo package for the return of Scorpio Sky.
Yeah.
SCU,
Miro, the House of Black, Andrade. All getting time to shine. Like, bro,
even Miro looked good.
Bro, Miro got the loudest pop when his music played. I heard the roar of that crowd, and it was beautiful.
Oh, absolutely. Woo! What's up, Jordan?
What's up, Jordan?
I lost the previous comments. My bad. When it refreshed, I lost them. But I'm excited for this show, bro, because this makes me want to tune in. Talent that deserve the spotlight that don't get it on Dynamite. They have a chance to now shine on Collision, and there is no reason, no talent like Serena Deeb, Malachi Black, Andrade, Miro. There's no reason they shouldn't be booked because you have Ring of Honor, Collision, Rampage, Dynamite. There should be enough room for everybody to have some time to shine. You know what I mean?
And Powerhouse as well. Another talent I was missing, bro.
Oh, absolutely. And see, after the CM Punk promo, JoJo, what was the match on the card?
It was Luchasaurus versus, or should I say Kanosaurus versus War Dog.
Every time I hear that entrance, bro, Bago!
It's gotta be Kane.
You know, it's very funny you guys say that because, on what we did a watch along or whatever on the Last Week in Wrestling podcast for the premiere, and Willie and I and Wolf, we talked about it at the end of the show, and that was probably the biggest gripe we had of the actual show. I think that, Wolf said it, and I believe Willie reiterated it. Wardlow, see, I'm a Wardlow fan. So, to me, this hurts to say. But Wardlow doesn't need a belt. I don't think Wardlow. It's okay. So I'm trying to figure out how to say this correctly. But Wardlow doesn't need a belt because he doesn't need a belt to prove that he's a very good wrestler. He's one of those heavyweights that can wrestle well enough to be a very high-end heavyweight wrestler without the accolades. So I think that if Wardlow were to go on a run, per se, or walk, or a walk, exactly. I'm happy everyone got the joke. But if he does, then Wolf said AEW Championship could be in his sights or international. I don't see him as international.
No.
I honestly, I don't even see him as AEW. I don't see him as a champion anymore. I see him as somebody to face in the lineup to go for a championship in itself. I think Wardlow has proven that besides being a big brawling brute, shout out WWE, but a big brawling brute of a man and his dexterity, big word, I can't even fucking spell it if you ask me to right now. But his dexterity in the ring ability, that he doesn't need a belt to shine. Wardlow is one of those guys that can either have a quick match that you are like, okay, cool, or can have a match like he had at Double or Nothing that was like, oh, okay, cool. And the difference between it is because, like Kevin Owens, he does that Swanton bomb. Yeah. And for someone as big as he is, muscular, he's not a fat guy. He's not like me. He's not eating chips and Doritos and fucking burritos and shit like that. He ain't out here in Taco Bell trying to get the discounts, all right? He ain't out here doing that. He's out here. He's in the gym. He's doing his thing. But as somebody who is very agile, like a Kevin Owens, because Kevin Owens is definitely on that Taco Bell drive-thru. I think I've seen him once or twice. But
he reminds me of Lesnar, like Lesnar 03.
I could kind of see that. I could kind of see that out of him. That's a really good point, Brandon, because I think I could kind of see that out of him. If I in my memory bank, I could kind of like rewatch, some of the stuff. But the thing that keeps playing in my head is that Double or Nothing moment where he, the ladder should, I don't know about you guys, but the ladder should have kind of been pulled back a little bit more, and he should have kind of did that Swanton a little bit further back, because it looked like if his head didn't hit Luchasaurus, he was just going through that fucking other table, and that was it. He was gonna knock himself the fuck out. So if he had that opportunity to prove that he is one of those agile guys, like I'm saying, in a big moment like a Double or Nothing, then
I mean, his Swanton tonight was beautiful.
Beautiful. That's what I said too. I think that, like I said, I think that Wardlow doesn't need a belt. To me, it like, Willie said this really great, and Willie, I love Willie to death, like I love you guys, and Willie, said this perfectly. He goes, "It's a hot potato belt," and truthfully, it kind of is. We see who's held that TNT belt. And to be honest with you, the only one that I have been like, he needs to keep this fucking belt for a little bit longer, is Darby Allin. Because Darby Allin's 5 matches of the defense title matches, Buddy Matthews being one that stands out to me personally, was one of the best defensive TNT belt matches I have seen in a mid-card belt reign.
Absolutely. And to your point, you said that Wardlow doesn't need a title to be great. The Undertaker, he said on Stone Cold's Broken Skull podcast that he didn't need the title to be the Undertaker, and that's why he barely ever won it. He said that he was better for the chase rather than holding the title.
Right. And I think that, to your point, Brandon, like, it's so true, because there's so few and far between wrestlers that are just good. Like, good. Like, they're just good performers. Like Cody Rhodes said, we're in the people-serving business. And Wardlow was one of those guys that if he wasn't in contention for belts and they kind of just let him have good matches and have those moments, have those death-defying stunts, we would be talking about Wardlow a lot more. But I think that because we continuously put Wardlow in these title defense runs, it kind of defeats Wardlow as a whole. Let's remember for a second, Wardlow wasn't shit, except MJF's fucking lackey. All right? He'd shine the TNT ring. He'd make sure MJF had the best gear. He made sure, MJF looked the best. He was that guy. He was like the butler. He was like the fucking butler. I'm really going to date myself, but if you watch Mr. Deeds, the butler in that movie made Mr. Deeds in that hotel room look good. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to shine your shoes, sir. Oh, I'm going to make sure you get the nice coat, sir. Oh, here's the Advil because you got hungover last night, buddy. Like, that's what Wardlow was. But then once Wardlow had that match with MJF and proved, hey, buddy, I'm a fucking wrestler. Okay, now let's see what you can do. And he's done it. He has had good matches. Some of them, honestly, the worst matches, in my opinion, Wardlow has had is with Powerhouse Hobbs. I think, personally speaking, Powerhouse Hobbs shouldn't be a wrestler.
What?
Yeah. I think Powerhouse Hobbs is probably one of the weakest links in AEW. Honestly, with QT Marshall as well. Yeah, I know. I made your fucking jaws dislocate with that shit. But to be very honest, Powerhouse Hobbs and QT Marshall are not performers that I would go pay to see.
Oh, QT Marshall sucks dick. He's just like Baron Corbin. He could fucking get fired.
Yeah, but Baron Corbin can perform. See, no. Baron Corbin can perform. That's the difference between QT and Baron. Baron and him are very similar, you're right. But if it comes down to it, Baron, when he needs to, can give you at least a 3 fucking star match.
Okay, fair.
When QT can give you possibly a 2.
I used to
possibly a 2.
I was a Lone Wolf fan, man, in NXT days, Black and Gold. I loved Lone Wolf Baron Corbin, and then he became a freaking stooge. And
he became one of the 3 stooges in WWE. He became a fucking joke. But
Jojo, back just real quick. I thought you hate Baron Corbin.
I do. I hate this Baron Corbin.
I like this Baron Corbin.
I want the Lone Wolf back. I've always.
No, I don't. I'll say why I don't in a second, but. If you're going, I think that to the point real quick, because I want to quickly say something about Baron Corbin, but and I know this is the AEW review, but fuck it, we're high, we're drunk, we're really going out there tonight, boys. We're doing our thing, but to me, honestly, I think that Wardlow at this stage of the game has done everything to us fans, whether you're casual, whether you're a fan of AEW, has proven you don't need the belt to make yourself an all-elite wrestler. You don't need those crazy accolades to sell the merch. Because as a fan, for myself, like I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Wardlow. Like, I think he's awesome. I think he's funny. I think he's a good wrestler. I think he's a good performer. The story about his father touched me. I'll be honest real quick. I lost my father about 4 years ago, October, maybe 5. I'm a little drunk, so I can't really remember. But to me, I didn't lose him to cancer. I lost him to a heart attack. But nonetheless,
so sorry.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. But nonetheless, that realism, it hit, and I was like, I felt that. I felt that moment. That's why he grew out the ponytail. That's why he had the longer hair, because his father had the longer hair. He wanted to be like his father so much that he was like, I'm going to do everything in my power. And when he wrestled like if his father was in the ring wrestling as him. So to me, Wardlow is one of those real people that you don't need those AEW belts to be that legendary status. He's one of those underdogs that we're going to be talking about in 5 to 10 years going, do you remember those matches Wardlow had after he broke away from MJF? Yeah, I do. I remember those Swanton Bomb moments. I remember that against Powerhouse Hobbs. I remember those matches. I remember those matches in Collision. Like, I remember. And it's like, yeah, man, like, he was good. It was a lot better than we thought he was. Like, he was an underdog because, when Brock came into the picture, going to Brandon's point, when Brock came into the picture, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. Here goes this fucking roided up son of a bitch about to come in here, break some people's asses, put some foots in some people's asses, and that's it. He's going to cause some issues. But then Brock performed. And that shooting star press, holy shit. To see someone with that much dexterity,
I do want to say, though,
is wow.
I want to say something about Wardlow because I am a fan as well, but his booking, man, has been
that's the awful problem. And it's funny because it's funny that you say that, JoJo, because I feel the same way with the women's division, as we'll talk about later. But to Baron Corbin, I'll just say this real quick. And we'll get back to the show. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, but
that's okay.
To Baron Corbin, see now. Here's the thing. I'm breaking that fourth wall here. I didn't really watch. There was a period of time where I wasn't a wrestling fan anymore. I was a big gamer. I was doing a lot of other things, working a lot, so I didn't really watch a lot of NXT Gold. Did I catch highlights? Yes. Just calm the fuck down. All right. I did catch highlights. All right. But I did catch highlights of Baron Corbin as a lone wolf. Now, the hair definitely needed to be shaved off. I was very happy when he shaved that shit off, all right, because it looked really bad. But I thought performance-wise, he was really good. Him coming to the WWE, I thought there was going to be some similarity. Then they tried the happy Corbin, then the sad Corbin, then the semi-happy Corbin, then back to the sad Corbin. Boo. Then it was the King Corbin, and I was like, okay, none of these are working here. Like this is ruining everything he's built in NXT.
I was a fan of bum ass.
Boo, crap ass Corbin.
It was so pitiful. It was so fucking pitiful that I couldn't watch it.
Did you remember when John Cena FU'd him over $100?
Yeah, but that wasn't as pitiful as fucking bum-ass Corbin. I'll tell you that now. It wasn't as pitiful as bum-ass Corbin. I'll be honest. It really wasn't. It really wasn't. But Corbin, see, what's nice about the NXT, and I'll end my point here, but what's nice about the NXT, especially for like people like Mustafa Ali and Baron Corbin, is now the NXT roster has a little taste, a little sampling of WWE, and I think that thank you, buddy. The little sampling is nice to have. Yeah, I know, Corbin Z's. Hold on, but listen, I'm gonna pull you back right now, buddy. I'm gonna pull you back right now. What I'm about to say, Baron Corbin currently, we're talking about currently, not WWE Corbin. We're talking about NXT Corbin. He's back.
Yeah.
In his home territory. This is a Corbin that I'm curious about. This is a Corbin that there is no gimmick. There is no, I won $1 million. Like, let's party. No. None of that bullshit. None of that bullshit. Listen, I tell you right now, I'm going to bring you back in, buddy. I swear to God, I'm going to bring you back in. Baron Corbin is one of those guys that, besides being a safe worker, is one of those guys that can definitely pull off a comeback. And I think, in my heart of hearts, I think that Baron in NXT is going to show people who the fuck Baron Corbin is. And do I think that the good match of Carmelo and him is going to be one of those pins into his backstory, his redemption story? Yes. Because if you see it kind of unfolding in NXT, he had a very good match against Ilya Dragunov, mind you. It was a good match. It was a good match.
Would you rate it a 3 out of 5?
3.5.
3.5? 3.5? Okay.
Because Iliad's a fucking animal. Like, let's be very frank here. Iliad is a fucking Wolverine. He is the absolute animal of a Wolverine. Like, there's no comparison. But him and Iliad had a great match. And to me, it's a stepping stone to where him and Carmelo could be. Him and Carmelo could put on a 4 out of 5 match. I don't think he's going to pull out a 5 out of 5. If he does, great, cool. I'm happy to be wrong. But there is that possibility at NXT Gold Rush. I think that's what they're calling it.
Mm-hmm.
That he could have a 4 out of 5 match with Carmelo Hayes. And especially for Carmelo Hayes, because Carmelo Hayes is now at a point, like Braun Breaker is Braun's a little bit more ahead, but where Braun was kind of currently, Carmelo's at a point now where if he continues his run in the next year or two, he's WWE. I don't think there's a question on that. Braun's WWE, maybe this year, maybe beginning of next. He might show up at the Rumble. Honestly, I think he could show up at the Rumble next year. But Carmelo has maybe a year left of NXT. And then will show up in the WWE main roster. And if you look at Pretty Deadly, and you look at Alba Fire, they're not doing nothing with them. They're doing something with them. So, we shall see. But I think Baron now, being back in his home element, has a chance to pull out a 4 out of 5 match. See, I told you I'd bring you back. You know what I mean? I told you I'd bring you back. I don't know.
Yes, boy.
Honestly, though, Baron Corbin going back to NXT isn't going to make me watch the show. I'm just going to be real.
What?
It's not going to make me watch the show, but it's going to make me watch the highlights.
What?
And I think that itself is more important than watching the show.
What?
I'm just
Because
black and gold by heart. That's
What?
why.
I am.
That's
I'm
why
going to use the facilities.
Bro.
I'm going to use the facilities real quick. Give me a
What?
moment. I'm going to be right back. And you guys do your thing. I'll be right back though. Give me a sec.
All right, yes, sir.
But,
Good brother, I want to get just real quick, because there was a good point earlier that I wanted to hear you about, and that was, what did you think of the promo CM Punk delivered tonight? And this is the last time we'll talk about CM Punk, so we can get into the rest of the show. But what did you think of that promo?
like I said earlier, I thought it was good. It was good, but just I don't know, man. Honestly, I'd rather have started a different way than having him come out and just talk. I figured it was gonna start this way because he did say he had a lot to say. So I figured something was coming out, that he was gonna say something. But it's I just would have started off a title match. I would have never had him talk. I don't think he needed to talk, really. We've heard of him enough say stuff. Like, what else is there to say? Apologize, yeah. Say you're sorry, but that's about it.
I agree, and that's all that needed to happen, in my opinion. I don't think that little jabs at everybody was necessary, but I want to get into the show now, beyond the Punk promo, going back to Luchasaurus winning the TNT title. I do agree with Dylan that the title makes sense as a how do I put this? The title makes sense as a flip-flop title, but at the same time, I kind of want it to get back to the prestige it had when Darby Allin had it, when Miro had it, when Cody Rhodes had it.
I agree with you 100 on that.
See, the only thing to that though is like I don't want it to be a flip-flop title. I don't want it to be an interim title match, an interim title itself. Because
I hate
if you're gonna have such an extensive roster that correlates with New Japan and Ring of Honor, you need to have belts. And I think me and Brandon have talked about this. We need to have belts that matter. The AEW Championship matters. It matters. Look at what we had. We had a 4 pillars match at Double or Nothing. We had something that mattered. The AEW women's kind of matters. The tag team match, the tag team belts matter. The trios tag matters. But the TNT doesn't. And the international kind of does. So
it does. Orange County has defended that well. But what do you think about Luchasaurus being a champion? Do you think he will make that title prestigious?
No. To be very frank, my middle name's not Frank, but to be very frank, I'm trying to figure out how to say this correctly, because otherwise I'm gonna sound like CM Punk if I say it. If you're going to care about certain titles more than others, then the belts that don't matter don't need to be in existence.
I agree.
Does that make sense? So if you're going to care about the AEW one and you're not going to care about the TNT one, then the TNT doesn't matter.
I've always said that it doesn't matter since.
If you're going to care about the tag team, but now you're not going to really care about the international, does the international one matter?
I agree. Now, the women's title has been fucked up too for a while, and Britt Baker lost. It's been a whole shit mess. And like
the reason
I think Dylan, you'll agree, is the TBS Women's Championship felt like it had more prestige than AEW Women's Championship. Kind of started with Thunder Rosa. Toni Storm was all right as a champion, and then
right.
Who the fuck else had it? Jamie Hayter, but she felt second to Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and fucking so she never felt important in her own title reign. And now we have it back on Toni Storm, who's currently in a tag situation.
Okay, so I think Tony Khan fucked up. Honestly, I think Tony Khan fucked up by not giving a shit about the women's division. See, now if you think about it, if we really think about it here, and I think maybe your fans might enjoy what I'm about to say, maybe they're not gonna enjoy what I'm about to say. Maybe Get Bent might understand, might not understand. But
Bobby will let you know.
I hope someone's gonna let me know. But if you look at WWE and you look at AEW side by side,
yep,
you see that the women's division on both platforms, on both promotions,
are dog shit.
Don't matter.
Impact has the best women's division on the planet.
Keep saying it. Keep preaching it because it's the truth.
And so does New Japan.
Yeah, New Japan's gotten better at showcasing their women. Remember that triple threat match with Mercedes that we watched?
And if you're going to have superstars like Britt Baker, Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter, Rhea Ripley, Asuka, Charlotte, Becky, Bianca, you need to give a shit.
I love you too, Bobby.
Your women.
Thanks, Bobby. Love you.
Division. I love you too, Gat. You need to give a shit about your women's division. Because listen, I'm gonna go on a quick rant. I swear to God, it's gonna be quick. I swear to God, it's gonna be quick.
Okay.
If you look at it, and I had a podcast Thursday. Cody, a new good friend of mine, brand new friend of mine, Cody Cornette. Not related to Jim Cornette. I thought he was. I was like, listen, we got a good thing with Jim. Like, let me get his number. Let me give him a call. Like, let me, see if we get him on the pod, everything. And he goes, no, I'm not related. I said, all right, no problem. So a good buddy of mine, Jim, a good buddy of mine, Cody, goes, if you think about it, and honestly, I really have to still see this fully myself, but if you really, really think about it, now I'm old. So I'm not that old. I'm not a fossil, but I'm getting close to a fossil.
You young?
I'm 29. I'm 29. I'm not that young. So if you think about it, in the 90s, in the Attitude Era, when 9 o'clock hit, this is what Cody said. When 9 o'clock hit, is when all the good shit started happening. And the first person to come out was Stable. And people tuned in to Stable. Besides that, but people tuned in to Stable. And he says that Stable was one of those, play on words, staple for the women's division. And I kind of agree with him with that. I would say maybe China a little bit more, but nonetheless. Now we fast forward a few years. You got your Trish Stratus, Stacy Keeblers, your Litas, your Jackies, your Stable still a little bit, your China's a little bit. You got your Victoria. If you can remember her, I know I'm dating myself a little bit right now, but your Victoria.
Man, you're talking about childhood.
Yeah. So I'm really dating myself here, boys. But you get your women, and the women's division now turns into this.
Yo, Killers, I don't know who your guest host is, but he's the shit. He has wrestling takes that are absolute, but he's good. Glad y'all are collaborating. Hey.
Me too.
Well, hey, his channel's Last Week in Wrestling Podcast. I'm going to shout him out.
Yeah, listen, come on over, man. You might change your opinion. Yeah.
That's
listen, maybe not everything that I say is correct, but sometimes is we got some good ideas. But anyway, nonetheless,
it's like CM Punk said, if you want to boo me, boo me. You want to cheer me, but you tune in to see.
Hey, man, listen, having my name talked about is more than enough. So I appreciate it. But nonetheless, we have your then newer generation of women's division, which is a lot of the lingerie fighting, the pillow fighting, the mud wrestling. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. You have your lingerie fighting. You have a lot of your very sexism type of, women's division now. They're not really women's champions. They're not women. They're objects. They're these things. They're these beings. They're these moments. They're not the women's division. You know what I mean?
How about in present day wrestling, Ember Moon was talking, or Athena now was talking about the reason she left the WWE. Because Mandy Rose wanting to look like her is what Vince McMahon and WWE wanted for NXT, was more sexiness on the show. And we've seen that in 2.0. Yeah, all right, look at Cora Jade. You got to mention Gigi Dolan. Holy shit. And
I don't know what the fuck they're feeding her in that water, but goddamn, buddy. Goddamn, buddy. You know what I mean? Goddamn. She's got a cushion. A cushion. All right? She's the airbag in my fucking car. All right? You know what I mean? Like, I always want to crash sometimes just to hang out with Gigi. All right? It's some good moments.
You see that Walter meme where he's like,
Sky Blue's gorgeous. But listen, not for nothing though. Like, going quickly right back to it, but as we left the objectification of the women, and it started going back to women fighting, women wrestling, women caring about things, and women getting kind of a look better than it did. You get your Biancas, your Asukas, your Becky Lynches, your Charlotte Flairs, your Baileys, your Sasha Banks, your Four Horsemen, your moments that matter. Now you got your Rhea Ripley's, your
mommy.
Listen, mommy. But you got your moments, man. But then you go to AEW, and they did it for a moment, and I was like, okay, great, we got something that's equal balance. That's men's division. There's a women's division. There's a tag division. There's a intercontinental division. There's these divisions that I'm going to give a shit about. And then I was like, what the fuck's going on here?
yeah.
Why don't I care about the women anymore? Why is the Intercontinental belt not giving a fuck anymore? Why is it only the AEW belt? What's up with the TNT belt? Who gives a fuck about this TNT belt? So to me, that's where I think a lot of the faultiness in Tony Khan and in the Triple H's matter. Because not only do a lot of these belts that quote unquote want to be known, but they don't matter.
So real quick, while we're talking about belts, because JoJo was pissed about this Friday, or yesterday, whatever. I'm high.
God, I'm drunk.
3-belt
Roman had 3 belts. Do you think that's a bad
Get the
idea?
fuck out of here with those 3 belts. I saw those 3 belts, and I wanted to burn the rest of the hairline that was on fucking Paul Heyman. All right, let's be completely honest here, gentlemen. I wanted to take the rest of his LeBron fucking hairline and completely take it off. All right, like seriously, I was like, what the fuck is this Christmas tree fucking getup that he's got going on over here? Like, does Paul really need 2 belts around his shoulder? No. Like none of that shit needs to happen. You know what's funny? I'm in a group chat on Instagram. It's a Fantasy Faction with the great guys over called Cheap Pop Wrestling, and really great guys over there. And Nick from Wrestling Network goes, I want those 3 belts as a Christmas tree. Like, I want them on my desk as a Christmas tree. And I'm like, I wanted to say, like, get the fuck out of here. Like, no. Like, don't waste, like, $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 on fucking 3 belts for a Christmas tree thing.
Oh, yeah.
Boring.
Bro. And not only that, Paul Heyman's a fat guy. All right? He don't need to be carrying around that much weight. He's already got enough, man. Look, and I get this. I'm a fat guy, too. Okay? I'm not...
He already has that cravings deal from Taco Bell fucking weight on him right now. You know what I mean? Like, he truly has that type of body right now. He's one of those burrito athletes that we've been waiting to see, on live television, honestly.
Yes.
And I'm going to be in contention with him. But nonetheless, I honestly, like, truthfully, like, if we're going to have 40 fucking different belts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 7 of them matter, what's the point of the rest?
No, just to be there.
Like, I get everybody needs that trophy for participation. A pat on the back would suffice.
Exactly. In life, there is winners and there's losers.
2 of those belts would suffice. those other belts don't matter. And I'd rather see, personally, more opportunities for these belt moments than see moments that don't matter.
Appreciate you, cousin.
You know?
For life, bro. For life. And
Bad.
I agree with you, bro, because it's fucking bullshit. None of these titles really fucking matter. Like, look, the 24/7 title was hot for a minute, and then it became trash easily. All right? And fucking, not to mention, half the titles, in my honest opinion, look like dog shit. Fucking, you don't really book the women's tag titles to mean any fucking thing. And not only that, fucking, we just had the U.S. title as Raw's main title because fucking Roman Reigns can only work part-time. And we got to put both titles on him. Like, this shit's fucking stupid. And then, instead of keeping the U.S. title prestigious at least, they went back to kind of fucking doing dick with it. And
Well, Go ahead.
Because at first, Austin Theory's like little heel shit with it was cool. And then now he's just facing the same people. You know, it's usually Bobby Lashley or Seth Rollins. It's like, wow, how many times are we going to see that?
You can have Vince say thank you to Vince because he's the one that did it.
You're welcome, damn it. I hope you like that good shit that you're going to tune into on Monday, pal.
Well, you now know.
Garbage can.
What's this AEW
or I should say,
bullshit?
Do you know?
All I see is the guys I fired.
That Triple H has allowed for this Money in the Bank. If you win the Money in the Bank, you now are allowed to cash it in on a Intercontinental Championship or United States Championship.
Oh, talk about this. Let's talk about this real quick.
Be honest with you, I think this is a good idea. I know JoJo was just throwing the thumbs down.
Bro, you got
to hear me out here. This is a good idea. The reason why I think it's a good idea is, okay, I'm going to say this. I want LA Knight to win the Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Okay? I think out of the rest of the people that are in the Money in the Bank, Shinsuke, nonetheless, is probably close second. Honestly, close second. But LA Knight, let's be honest here. Honestly, let's be very frank. And again, it's not my middle name, but let's be very frank. If LA Knight isn't over by now,
yeah,
when the fuck is he going to get an opportunity to prove, like when he was Eli Drake, that he is worth that title shot?
I agree. But going back to your point about the Intercontinental and U.S. title being able to be cashed in on, this is fucking stupid. You have
really?
Yes, you have a opportunity for a world title. Anytime, any place, anywhere.
Why do you want the single title? The mid title?
Why do you want the mid-card title for one?
Why do we have mid-cards then defend? Why do we have a mid-card type of Money in the Bank?
I have no idea. But two,
that's the point though. If we didn't have a mid-card Money in the Bank lineup, we would only be doing a World Heavyweight or Roman's belt.
Well, I agree, but if you think about this, look at Austin Theory's cash in. He cashed in on an open challenge for
they fucked that up.
And he still failed.
They fucked that up. And that's why they gave him the U.S. Championship.
And that's why
because they fucked that up. If they didn't fuck that up, they would have gave him an opportunity against Roman's belt.
He may have lost, but it would have looked better.
Even as a loss, he would have looked good.
Yeah. And that's why I thought it was dumb.
With the Money in the Bank lineup being all mid-carders, giving that stipulation of United States and Intercontinental.
But to be fair,
Makes
look,
it better.
Edge was a mid-carder when he first won the Money in the Bank. He had never been a world champion, and since he had broke his neck in 2003, between 04 and 05, before getting with Lita, he was kind of not doing dick. And, winning the Money in the Bank, aligning himself with Lita, the real-life story with Matt Hardy and Lita,
there's an argument there for that. But I do see what you're saying. But the thing, though, is if you want to compare, okay, so if you want to say that Edge was a mid-carder between 03 and 04 before he had to, kind of give up the World Heavyweight Championship and then leave for a little bit and this, that, and the third.
Oh, he hadn't even been world champion yet. He didn't win his first world title till 06.
In my opinion, Edge's last mid-card match was when he was with Christian in a tag team match. That was when I thought Edge and Christian were still mid-carders. Now, mind you, they put on pay-per-views. Pay-per-views. But Edge wasn't looked at, like Christian, as a main carder type of performer.
Yeah.
I think when that TLC ladder match happened, when he speared Jeff, and everybody talked about it,
we still talk
when
about
he
it.
decided to go up. And that's when he left. Because if we go back, if we date ourselves, Brandon, we date ourselves. When that moment happened,
he started facing Eddie Guerrero.
It wasn't long
Kurt Angle
until he became a singles runner.
Yep. But then he broke his neck against Eddie.
Kurt, mind you, one of his first opponents was Kurt fucking Angle.
You saw.
It wasn't like, Bushwick Bill. It wasn't fucking, a Rowdy Piper. It wasn't a Hulk Hogan. It was Kurt fucking Angle.
Prime Kurt Angle, too, at that. Like, think about that.
So, to be honest, Edge's mid-card run kind of ended in that moment in that ladder match.
I can agree with that. But,
to be honest, LA Knight's mid-card reign kind of ended when he beat his opponent and had that moment with the Street Profits.
Yep. And he beat Rick Boogs.
Because if you look at it, if you take Eli Drake out of the equation and you just put him in NXT, he was Mr. $1 Million Man.
Yes.
And there was a lot of conversations about not having him as the $1 Million Man because they didn't know if Eli Drake was going to be the same Eli Drake they were going to see in NXT. So now we're having LA Knight, who, mind you, we have to remember, came from the Maximum Male Models fucking group.
That should have killed him. Should have killed him.
Now he is LA Knight.
Yeah.
So where he's at now is the next point after this, if they don't fuck it up, is main card run.
If he
wins, with him having that opportunity now to cash it in on somebody like an Austin Theory, because he's not going to cash it in on Gunther. Let's be very frank here. Gunther's going to hit that honky tonk record, if not break it, and do maybe a couple more things and have a Brock match, then maybe go into the main card and do his own thing. But
no, I'd have him
I
cash
think
in on Rollins.
what?
Have him cash in on Rollins.
Yes.
No. Cash in on Theory.
Oh no.
And you get the United States title under your belt.
But why would I want the
The
United
significance of the United States title for LA Knight matters more for his trajectory to a Rollins or Roman moment is more important than cashing in on someone like Gunther and losing.
Yeah.
The reason why I say that is because if he wins against Austin Theory, it works for both men. Austin Theory at this moment in time right now could possibly go to a main card type of roster lineup and start doing more matches to face someone like a Seth Rollins. Whether he wins or loses, that's something totally different. But if you have LA Knight winning Money in the Bank, cashing in on Austin, win against Austin Theory after he just beat Bobby or whoever the fuck at the point, because like Brandon said, he's just facing the same people over and over and over again, then you clearly see there's nothing going on for that United States Championship. Let LA Knight now hold that belt. That now gives a little bit more momentum to a lot more mid-carders to face LA Knight, who now has that possibility in 6 to 7 months becoming a mid-card runner for a Seth Rollins belt moment. Because now you can face somebody like the Street Profits. You can face somebody like a Ricochet. You can face somebody like a Shinsuke. You could go through that Money in the Bank lineup again. You can start putting in people like Grayson Waller, Bronson Reed. You can start putting in more and more mid-carders to kind of flush them out to see what works with the crowd, what doesn't work with the crowd. And then from there kind of project what's going to be the ending of LA Knight's reign and then LA Knight's next push to a Seth Rollins belt moment.
So instead of a potential...
think that if the fact that we're going to have Money in the Bank now have the ability to cash in on the United States Championship, it is smart because now we're going to give the mid-carders something to actually work for. Because let's be honest, any of these men win now and get a chance at Seth Rollins, there is a 99% chance that Seth's going to retain. And everything that these guys have worked for is going to go right back to square one, and it's not going to matter. But if you now have that new thing on the table of a United States Opportunity belt, now you have something to fight for. Now you have an opportunity to shine and be something that we all think you could actually be, which is, of course, the end goal of being a main card, main eventer, a Seth Rollins, a Sami Zayn, a Kevin Owens, a Roman Reigns, a Bobby Lashley, an AJ Styles. Now you're in a different conversation. You're in a different talk. You're in a different mode.
It's kind of like a slow burn, and instead of rushing right to the world title and a potential sink or swim, you kind of slow build it up and then get to that world title later on.
But LA Knight needs to win it.
I agree.
I honestly think he needs to go after the major championship. I would not go.
Not yet, but yes.
I would not cash in a briefcase on a mid-card champion. Like, I want to be the top champion. Like, I want to go right at it.
Let me ask you a question. Would you rather see LA Knight go against Seth Rollins and lose at a pay-per-view that either matters or doesn't matter, and then have to go back to the starting point to get to the same position again 6-7 months later and not maybe have the crowd backing him up at that moment? Or would you rather have LA Knight go, face Austin Theory, have that 4 out of 5 match, now have that momentum to go ahead, start building that mid-card roster up, lose it to somebody that we all want to see next coming up, and then go after a Seth Rollins, and then have in the odds in his favor potentially win a championship moment like a Seth Rollins?
I agree. And then I want to get back to Collision because I don't have a lot of time left just with having to work in the morning. Because I do want to get into Buddy Matthews and
Andrade.
Andrade. Shit, I kind of feel bad now, but I'm really high.
You're good, man.
Bear with me.
It's all right, man. I have 11 in me right now, so you know what I mean. Like we're good.
Oh god damn.
Yeah, listen, we're animals over here. All right, we party. All right, we party hard.
Fair enough. But you're still holding up, so hey. More power to the player. But I want to get back into this because this match was fan-fucking-tastic. Just like every other match they've had in AEW history, this delivered. And this shows, once again, Andrade can be a top star given the light, given the time, and the right guy to work with. He could be a main event player.
Yeah.
And honestly, making Buddy Matthews tap out tonight the way he did, I thought
to Charlotte Flair's
excellent.
move. That's Charlotte Flair's move he did.
Yep, the figure eight. Made him tap out to it. I thought it was fucking excellent.
When he did the cartwheel backflip, that was
crazy.
And that crowd, bro, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Bro. They treated him like a star.
My thing is between Miro and Andrade, they look like they never lost a step.
Yes.
They look like they never lost a step. And to be honest with you, Andrade's match was better than Miro's.
I agree.
Yeah, facts.
But Miro was more of a little squash to be shown that he's a monster heel, that he's going to come destroy everyone, he's going to take the championship, because I think he needs to take the championship from Orange Cassidy. It needs to be him.
And it's kind of like a generic big guy match, a squash match by about, 5 minutes. But I do agree with you that defeating Orange Cassidy, and maybe you have him as a monster heel that we know Miro can be, and maybe you bring back Lana.
But is he a babyface? Because that crowd, bro, was so like,
they were into him.
Miro.
I would say he's
in between.
Yeah, I would say he's a baby face. I don't like, even when he returned in that Dynamite segment,
they cheered him.
They cheered the fuck out of him.
The same with Andrade tonight, bro. He was a baby face. He went to handshake Buddy and got attacked.
Yeah, he was a baby face. But that's going to be more interesting to me than Andrade as a heel. I think that for some reason, I think there's a great babyface character because we got plenty of great heels in AEW. We really do not need another. CM Punk's already like Deadpool in between. I mean, fuck, you need a really good babyface, and I think that he could be that guy. I honestly do.
I agree. But
I agree. No, I mean honestly, I'll just quickly say this because I know you said you want to go to bed. Andrade's match was definitely 4 out of 5.
Match of the night.
Honestly, maybe even a 5 out of 5. Andrade looked, and I said it on the watch along today. He looked like he never lost a step. Yep. He looked like he's been in the training, just getting back to his roots, really fighting. Yeah, he looks happy. Yeah, that's an awesome point, JoJo. He looks happy. He looks happy to be back. He looks happy to be wrestling again. He looks happy to be back to where he loves. And that little
had the crowd right here.
Charlotte. What?
He had the crowd right here too.
Yeah.
Match of the night.
And he was so agile. That cartwheel moment was crazy. I didn't even expect somebody like him to do something like that. Yeah. So, that was just like, whoa, what the fuck? That's crazy. And, man, no, I mean, 4 out of 5. Man, honestly,
and even the women's match,
I might even give it a 5 out of 5. That feud now between the two of them, as pay-per-view.
Give me Andrade versus Malachi. Please.
Oh, that would be good.
I don't know who I'm rooting for.
Yeah.
I really don't know who I'm rooting for, bro. They're two of my favorites.
Malachi.
Yeah, House of Black's a good team.
House of Black.
I don't know, man.
I missed Andrade. Like, seriously, I felt so happy to see him on my TV and, like, just...
Yeah.
It was...
And even with Miro, like, Miro looked good. He looked very strong. But, again, you know, I think maybe Miro took a little more time off compared to Andrade. You know, Andrade had got married. He did a honeymoon. He was still wrestling. Kind of, sort of. So,
you just got to knock out that ring rust.
Yeah, Miro's squash match was definitely 4 out of 5. Miro looked like he didn't lose a step as well. He looked good. He looked in great shape. And I'm very happy to see both of those guys back in action. Definitely needed to see them more on my TV, like JoJo said. Very happy to see them on my TV as well. So I'm very happy that Collision also kind of gives those wrestlers that moment to shine that Dynamite lacks.
Yes.
So it's good. It's a very good.
And JoJo, before we get into the women's tag match, what was your point? Because I seen you kind of like that for a second.
Oh, it was about the freaking like I need to see. I also need to see Brody versus Andrade, but it's like. Okay. Like, think about this, bro. Andrade is, like, one of the most talented professional wrestlers. Like, he's one of my favorites. The dude has it. He could be a world champion, in my honest opinion.
So maybe you haven't beat the House of Black one member at a time?
Yeah, but
and then that leads up to Malachi?
This is the thing now, though. It's great they're back on television. I'm so happy. But now it's becoming, like, what's going to happen next? Are we going to see them featured next week, or are they going to disappear? Because that's my issue with AEW.
Right.
Because if you look at the House of Black, 1 week they're on TV, then they're not on TV for 3 weeks, then they're on, then they're off.
Let's have Scorpio Sky featured a lot more, Powerhouse, Ricky Starks, all these guys were on the show in some way, but it's like, what are they going to do?
And can somebody tell me where the fuck is Serena Deeb? Anybody?
Exactly, bro. Where is she?
Where's who?
Serena Deeb. She's like one of the best.
Who?
Serena Deeb.
One of the best professional wrestlers.
That's the point. Who?
Oh, bro, she's one of the best, and not as a character, but as an in-ring wrestler, she is one of the best. And
she like disappeared like on Earth, bro. Like I've not seen her since. Like
not even heard about her.
Didn't she face freaking
Mercedes
Thunder Rosa last?
I think so. Yeah. When she was
that was
champion.
Like the last match I seen of her, and then after that she just it was Jamie Hayter. No, it wasn't Jamie. Who was the women's champion? She took
Mercedes Martinez when she was Ring of Honor champion.
Okay, so it was that. Man, that's sad.
And it's been a minute since that. But getting into this women's tag though, I thought this was absolutely excellent. Blue cheeks. I mean blue.
Blue.
And
you did great, bro.
I immediately popped even before the match started. I don't know why every time like Willow Nightingale's music hits, I get into that fucking shit. It's like, hey, and like that shit just hypes you up. There are certain songs that when they come on, I pay attention. Orange Cassidy's, Willow's.
That's that Long Island shit. You know what I mean? She's from Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
MJF's from Long Island. You're welcome. You know what I mean? You're welcome. I'm happy you can enjoy Long Island with me. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Like I'm happy you can enjoy that.
Long Island just produces megastars, bro. It really does.
For sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead, and then I'll say quickly what I thought of the match.
Okay. So I thought it was really good. I thought Sky Blue getting the victory was the right call, especially in Chicago. They absolutely ate that shit up.
I thought she was losing.
Same. I thought she was at a time, and Tony Storm was getting the victory, but not fucking Willow ended up with save, and fucking I think it was Ruby that got taken out to the outside.
Yeah, because of the
Yep, and then Tony Storm got like some kind of weird ass power bomb by Sky Blue, and then 1, 2, 3, and you see her mom clapping in the audience, and I just thought like for a girl who for a year wasn't even under contract, She was just jobbing because she loved this business and wanted a spot in it. And fucking to earning her contract in AEW, to being in a great stuff in Ring of Honor with Athena, to now getting this moment here in Chicago, her mom in the audience. I thought it was really well deserved.
It was a really good tag team match. Like, I enjoyed this, man. I really did. I thought Toni Storm was getting the win when she did the freaking what's that move when she runs her ass under the freaking chick?
Oh, it's called a hip attack, but let's be honest, it's a booty blast.
When she runs her ass. She runs that ass.
She bounced off her face, bro.
Like, you could see Sky Blue go boom.
Jiggle, jiggle.
Is that a Rikishi bomb? You know what I mean? You want to call it the Rikishi ass.
I'll take that.
Bro.
No, I mean, to both of your points, I thought this was definitely a good starting point to look good for the women's division. Mm-hmm. Like these are the things that we want to see out of AEW.
Yes.
Like these are the things we want to see out of WWE. So I'm happy to see that this is something that they might be working towards for Collision.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm happy. Sky Blue getting the win, smart. Having the Outcast lose, good idea. Because now they don't look like a Bloodline faction, a House of Black faction. They don't look like a faction that's undefeatable, somebody that can't be beat. You're not giving your looks to the up and coming stars, the Willows who just won against Mercedes Moné, the Sky Blues who's had some very good matches throughout her career. Those moments that matter. Now you're giving them that look. It's like, okay, what are we going to see? But to JoJo's point, like he said with the House of Black, is this it?
Yeah.
Are we going to see them disappear? Are we going to see them come back again? What's going to happen? Because to me, as much as excitement as this may have brought us fans who are excited about the women's division, big booties and all,
what?
Is this something that's going to be a one and done? Is next week going to bring us the disappointing Saraya comes back, she wins, squash match, nobody cares? Is it a promo that no one's going to give a shit about? Is it this? Is it that? So I hope we don't get that. I hope Collision steers away from that. But again, it's Tony Khan, it's AEW, you never know. So I can only hope for the best. But yeah, I'm very excited to see what is going to come from all of this.
Absolutely.
And definitely I would say this was a very good look for Sky Blue. Very smart move for Willow Nightingale, especially being a champion for New Japan. Nice representation, especially going into Forbidden Door next Sunday. So very excited.
Oh, absolutely. And then to kick us off quick, daddy ass.
The fact we got Tony Schiavone scissoring, 5 out of 5. You know what I mean? Like that itself, 5 out of 5.
Come on, Dylan.
Come on, listen, I'm always ready to scissor. I'm always ready to scissor, boys. I'm always ready to scissor, boys. I'm always ready to scissor. And what's funny? Like, a good buddy of mine, Sam, he was like, oh, you gotta watch the Acclaim. Like, they're so great. They do the rap thing that you like. And I'm like, nah, I don't fuck with them. Fuck that. Like, I like Billy Gunn. That's great. It's cool to see Mr. Ass. Fuck the Acclaim. And then one day I heard one of their raps, and it was like, oh, that's just too good. That's just, you can't hate them after that. And then I was like, all right, scissor me, daddy ass. So now I'm a big scissoring fan. And now we got Tony Schiavone scissoring. Oh, I mean, now it's across the world. You know what I mean? Now it's across the world. So, I don't really remember the segment too much. me, Willie, and Wolf, we were kind of talking about Universe Mode and all the things we were doing on their channel, his channel, my channel, and stuff like that. So we kind of missed that. We caught the moment of Tony Schiavone and all of them scissoring, which is, of course, the iconic moment. But I don't really remember the promo. So if you guys want to kind of refresh my memory.
They just want to go after the trios titles. It's the same old.
Yeah, you didn't miss any.
That's what we figured. That's what we figured. So we figured we didn't miss much.
Yeah,
but
you didn't miss
nothing
much
like, I think
it was just literally them saying this is the first Collision premiere scissor, and then also saying, hey, we want to get back into the trios title kind of match. And just real quick, because there's this. I want to see the Acclaim versus Pretty Deadly.
Pretty
yes,
crappy.
Boy.
No, thank you. Get them off my.
I like Pretty Deadly.
Same, bro.
I have to disagree with you with that, JoJo, but I like Pretty Deadly. But nonetheless, that would be really cool. Definitely get Ben. I love that fucking name. But I definitely think that'd be a really cool match to definitely have. But nonetheless, how much long? Listen, Billy Gunn's 60 years old. Okay? Billy Gunn, out of all the DX members, rest in peace, China, out of all the DX members, he is still the only one wrestling.
Yep. But he can still go, though.
And he's 60 years old. And he looks phenomenal.
Like, I don't know.
If you're not down with that,
what's
I got
that fountain?
Phenomenal.
Bro?
Yeah. Literally. I got 2 words for you. Scissor me.
Scissor.
Yeah, like I think that honestly, like if you want to, let's be realistic, real quick.
Sports entertainment idea.
Oh no.
What?
oh yeah. They have him come back as big ass Billy Buns. Damn it.
If the acclaimed go after the trios and win the trios, great.
JoJo,
hold on, JoJo. Let me explain. I would say great, because at that stage of the game now, Billy's done it all.
Facts.
Billy's done it all. So to me, and JoJo, you know me, okay? I don't like legends. I'm not a fan.
Oh, no, I see where you're going with this.
I'm not a fan of legends.
Brandon hates this when I talk about this.
But
here, y'all can have a talk for y'all. I'm just gonna
hold on, no, Brandon, you're gonna like this. Brandon, hold on. But I respect Billy Gunn more because he's still in action. So to me, if Billy wants to go after a belt, more power to him.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to take the trios titles from my boys, the House of Black.
Yes, he does.
They fought to get on TV for like months, and now they finally win the titles. And you give it to old.
No, let me.
But who would
let me.
Well, that's not.
Let me ask you guys this question real quick.
That's Tony Khan.
Let me ask you guys this question quick. If we remember, maybe it was last week's Dynamite. Again, I've had a few, so I can't really remember. But if it was, I think it was last week's Dynamite, where the Bullet Club, Juice and Jay, won against FTR. I believe those were the opponents. And the Guns assisted.
Yep.
Okay. Good. I didn't have that many to where I can't remember. That's good. But how did we feel about the possibility of the Guns joining the Bullet?
Boo! Trash boy.
God damn it! Why does nobody see the vision? All right. Let me just quickly explain this real quick.
Ass boys.
I think the Guns are probably one of the most underrated tag teams in AEW.
Right.
And here's why.
You're bringing the heat now.
Listen. Bring it on. But here's why. Here's why. The Guns beat FTR to become AEW Tag Team Champions. The Guns are one of the most dirtiest tag team division competitors. The Guns will do everything in their power to be AEW Tag Team Champions. The Guns are one of the most sneakiest, conniving tag team champion opponents. Joining Bullet Club only enhances those motives.
Oh, fuck.
If the Bullet Club, Juice and Jay,
he's right,
win the tag team champion or have the opportunity to win the tag team championship, the Guns will strike.
You're right about
that. The Guns could cost Juice and Jay a tag team opportunity. The Guns can then have a feud against the Bullet Club after already being a part of the Bullet Club. The Guns then could possibly beat the Bullet Club to face FTR again, to have another 4 out of 5 match and be tag team champions again by doing conniving, dirty, schemy shit. Making the tag team championship one of the most interesting tag team belts for AEW. So I think
I can agree with this.
That if the Guns do play into the Bullet Club of AEW, it only enhances the Bullet Club and it only makes the tag team championship more valuable.
I don't think your dog likes me.
Because the Guns only care about the gold. They don't care about who they have to step over to get the gold. So if it means playing the part of best friends to the Bullet Club, they will. Because eventually, the Bullet Club will eventually get their opportunity against FTR. And if that does happen, the Guns, mind you, will have a good portion to take on the Bullet Club, costing the Bullet Club the opportunity to win the belt.
Oh.
Which means that then the Bullet Club will have to face the Bullet Club to have an opportunity against the FTR, which then brings us to a pay-per-view that makes then a lot more interesting because the Guns, being as sneaky and conniving as they are, makes it more interesting for them to re-win the FTR's belts.
That's actually a damn good point.
Continue their retirement going forward and having singles careers that have a bigger opportunity ahead of them for their retirement. So that's why I think that if the Guns were to join the Bullet Club, it really only enhances everyone's story and not fucks anything really up. Now, mind you, like you both said, fuck the Guns, I understand. Willie and Wolf also say the same exact thing. I am the only one that believes that this idea could be really, really, really good.
No, I'm not gonna lie.
Nobody's seeing the vision the way I'm seeing it. Which is if the Guns do join the Bullet Club aren't going to realize that they are that conniving and scheming as they are. They're going to play the part of, oh, we're all friends, we're all buddies, we're all good, we're all for the same thing. Let's create the Bullet Club for America like they did in New Japan and make something of value. They're going to make value for the Bullet Club, but the moment the Bullet Club, which is just Juice and Jay, have that opportunity against FTR for the championship, guess who's going to be there to strike like a cobra? It is going to be the Guns. And the Guns are going to have that moment with the actual Bullet Club, which is Juice and Jay, to cause Juice and Jay the actual opportunity to face FTR. But in reality, the Bullet Club are going to have to face the Bullet Club one more time, which is really just Juice and Jay versus the Guns in another pay-per-view match for the actual tag team championships, which the Guns will eventually moves that we want to see.
And I think that's actually a really good idea. Like, you actually sold me on that. Like, that was pretty fucking solid.
Because we all want to see Juice and Jay have the tag team belts. And eventually, FTR, like they said, they got about 5 years left. So if within the 5 years this all happens, they really have, let's say, 3, maybe 3.5 years, singles runs, maybe another tag team run together, stuff like that. Maybe they have a TNT run. Maybe they have an international run. Maybe they have an AEW championship run. Maybe they have some singles matches against each other. They do their own thing, kind of leaving their legacy off. They retire. They do their own thing. That's that. But in reality, what's really happening in the background is the Bullet Club versus the Guns, which is the feud that nobody expected to see, nobody wanted to see, everyone thought was going to be a waste of time. It's going to be one of the feuds that's going to be one of the most interesting matches for the AEW Tag Team Championship, which brings us back to the other point, which is the belts need to fucking matter. These are the moments that need to fucking matter the most.
Yes, sir.
Oh, absolutely. And then right before we close this off, we've talked a lot of CM Punk, but we got to talk the main event. 6-man tag. JoJo, start us off, brother. What did you think about this?
This was great, bro. This match got at least, like, I want to say 25, 26 minutes. Like, they went at it, bro. And, like, honestly, Punk looked good in this. Like, he looked really, really, really good. And that's why I do believe, like Dylan said, the 6-man tag was making more sense than a one-on-one match, because it shows that Punk can do it still. Because if he went one-on-one with someone, it would have showed weakness. It would have showed weakness. But it showed more that he could still do it. But he needs to stay away from the world title. That's all I'm going to say about that. But that match kicked ass in all seriousness.
And I do agree. And I do agree with you, good brother. It led a spotlight. You know what I mean? For FTR, it gave a spotlight. For Samoa Joe, it gave a spotlight. Who was Samoa Joe?
Juice and Jay.
And then even like there were moments like when Samoa Joe and CM Punk faced off. There was holy shit. And
see, they're not bitches. They don't mute the TV or mute the cable shit, because WWE, if they say holy shit, all you hear is holy beep.
They
and
have to,
AEW lets you actually hear it. So I love that, honestly.
They have to, though. It's kind of like, for example, they had to crop out Bad Bunny's WWF jacket in the edits of a SmackDown.
So bad.
And it's not that, they wanted to, because that logo is a part of their history. It was because of a lawsuit in which they lost in 2002, having to become the WWE because they lost to the Panda People. Now, with the PG side of things, there are so many sponsors involved, shareholders involved. It's not like you can just say, hey, I want to say fuck this and fuck that. You know what I mean? It's like here we can do what the fuck we want. No one owns us and pays us to say what they want us to say. They have Mattel, Make-A-Wish, and all that other bullshit.
Yeah, they got a lot more sponsors to worry about.
So that's why, like, you hear those beeps. I know it sucks. I personally fucking hate it myself.
Yeah.
But, it's just one of those things where it's a necessary evil, if you will.
I'll just briefly talk, and then I'll let you finish out the show. To JoJo's point, perfect. This was a perfect ending to a really great show. Like I said in the beginning of this podcast, 4 out of 5. I don't think there was a moment that really made us feel like this show didn't matter. This was a perfect premiere. This was a moment that we needed to see. Like Willie said, to the point that I reiterated that JoJo agreed with, which is CM Punk needed to be in this 6-man tag. It made him look good. This is that moment that we need to see him doing more things like this before going into a singles run that I know he eventually wants to get into.
What would have made it a 5 out of 5 for you?
CM Punk didn't speak in the beginning.
Yeah, see, I agree in a way. Like, honestly, I could have went without that.
If CM Punk came out and said, I need to apologize to you for how I handled myself in the media scrum. That was not professional. That is not what made me a legendary wrestler like I am. If I handled myself differently in that situation to make myself look like a professional wrestler that I know I am, then I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry to you fans at home. I'm sorry to Chicago. I'm sorry to my fans that I know and love me, that have been following me since the independent scene, since Ring of Honor. That, okay, great. Now, mind you, I know that it's a shoot. There's work. There's a whole bunch of other things that play into a factor.
But that's not how it should have happened.
But I think that if he didn't come out with the bag, if he didn't try to talk wild shit about nobody lacing his boots, Hangman Page jab, the Young Bucks jab.
Oh yeah, counterfeit Bucks.
It would have been good if he
again. It wasn't something that I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Like, you know, as we all were saying in that media scrum, we were like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
You thought
you know, this was that moment of like, oh, okay, all right, I could deal with that. All right, oh, okay, all right, that wasn't that bad. All right, he's making valid points. Okay, all right, not bad.
I agree.
Bad. So, you know, I think that if maybe he said that shit at the end of the match, okay, cool, whatever. Do your thing. Maybe talk off air. Whatever.
He would have came off as a heel too, and it would have been great.
Yeah, like, cool, great. I'm excited. Again, though, going back to the point, and then I'll end it here. Eventually, we're going to see CM Punk in singles matches. We all know that.
Yep.
Starting off in a 6-man tag, like JoJo said. Perfect. The show in its entirety, 4 out of 5. There wasn't really a moment that steered me away. You know, I don't really have a lot of negatives to say. I kind of said everything in the beginning of the show. So I'm happy. I'm cool. I'm excited to see what happens next week.
If this is the kind of content that we're going to get going forward, does that make y'all excited as fans?
Yes.
What do you mean? Like in the sense of CM Punk or content in general?
Content in general that we got tonight.
If I see Andrade, Miro, Sky Blue,
then I'm excited.
Starks, Powerhouse.
And that's what I mean. It's not just CM Punk. It's an array of
talent. If we're going to get more people that don't get to shine on Rampage and Dynamite and now get to shine and make something of themselves on Collision, great.
Facts. So
to Collision to me, I know I'm so sorry, but Collision to me is the combination of Dark and Elevation.
Oh. Okay.
Now mixed into one, giving the superstars we loved from Dynamite the opportunity to shine in Collision and have an opportunity to be something in AEW.
I agree.
That's all I'll say.
And I agree 100% with that. And I think that's what's going to make this very interesting. And just for that alone, I'll be a little giving, if you will, and give that a 4.5 out of 5 personally. Because there was not much else that you could have really done to make this show perfect, in my opinion.
Yeah, I enjoyed the show, honestly. Like,
I did too.
I can't wait for next Collision, like in
Toronto.
I'm like JoJo. I'm genuinely excited.
What would you rate it, JoJo?
I agree with you guys, 4 to 5. Like, the one thing that I really wish they would have had. Well, like I said, Punk, that promo didn't. It was okay. It was good, but it wasn't something I really cared as much for. But I really wanted Serena Deeb on the TV, and I hope next week and they continue to hopefully bring her back because she deserves to be on television, man. But that's what I'll say about that, honestly.
I agree, because they got 4 television shows: Ring of Honor, AEW Rampage, AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision.
We need her.
There's no reason no talent's not being showcased.
For real, man. You got also Powerhouse and Ricky Starks challenging in the Owen Hart Cup, so that should be good.
That ought to be good. Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a Forbidden Door Sunday.
And I'm so excited for that, for real.
Can't wait for that show, man.
But this is going to be that smoke off, though, because I do got to work in the morning, and it's about midnight here.
I got some left in the can, so this is the last can of the night anyway, so perfect. Hey. I'll finish it off with y'all. And thank you again, of course, for having me on. Always appreciate it. You guys are always awesome to have a conversation with, so very exciting. So
true, and I apologize to you because I heard about JoJo's Wi-Fi fucking up earlier.
Yeah, my bad.
Don't worry about it. Shit, man. You know what's funny? You know what's really funny? Before we all do this, I got on Restream and we were doing. Willie was on and Wolf was on. Wolf was trying to put on the background for AEW or whatever, the background like the picture or whatever. He was having fucking problems for like 10 minutes. And then it started lagging, and I was like, oh, Jesus, is this going to be one of those nights? And then YouTube TV wasn't working, and I was like, oh, my God. So I couldn't get clips. Like, I was just like, this is a fucking nightmare right now. So don't worry about it. It happens. No big deal. We'll get you on.
Forbidden Door, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, actually, before when we end the show, I have to talk to you about something. So I don't want to tell the fans. Because it's something that you guys are going to be hopefully very interested in doing and being a part of. So
of course.
After the live is over, like I said, I don't want to ruin it for the fans because your fans, my fans, everybody else, I want them to see all of us live in action.
Oh, I'm ready to if you guys are ready.
Yeah, I'm ready whenever you guys are.
All right, I'm heating up now, JoJo. If you want to wait for me, you can. If you want to go, you can.
I'll wait for you.
Oh shit! It's on fire.
Damn.
Oh.
All right, so he's ready.
Wait, hold on, I'm gonna try it again. I don't know what the fuck that was. I didn't mean to catch my shit on fire, but I think I'm it's supposed to. It's wax. It's not supposed to catch fire.
I have to just say this real quick. I love the PlayStation headphones that Brandon's rocking right now while we're doing the podcast. Like, this is absolutely fucking gangsta shit right here.
Oh, like, yes, sir, bro. And they're the 3D Pulse ones. So y'all sound like fucking amazing.
I have the black.
You sound good
too. I have the all black versions. I love them. I love the Pulse ones. They're fucking fire. You know what I'm really excited for? If you guys watch the showcase, is the little earbuds that they're fucking making. Like, that shit looks fire.
I'm pre-ordering that shit.
Yeah, I'm genuinely excited for that.
But even connecting the aux cord to the iPad, it sounds a lot more clear than just using the base iPad microphone. So I really like this. Like, and not only that, y'all sound crystal clear and it cancels out all the noise. Like, right now, my shit's on my deep freezer. And I can't even, like, it's a loud ass sound usually. I can't hear it with this on. So for me, it's a big W. It cancels out all noise, distractions, shit like that. So I always appreciate that. But I'm going to try this again. Hopefully my shit doesn't catch fire. Like I said,
please no fire. Don't burn down the house, all right?
Truce. I've actually caught myself on fire 3 times.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I caught my hair on fire smoking a bowl one time. I caught my hand on fire because my old torch was leaking twice. And then fucking, what was it? Fucking, yeah, it was that torch. It was leaking out the side, and it caught me on fire the first time, and I was like, oh, shit, it's never done that.
You got to get one of these, bro. I'm telling you.
I know, but I'm
gotta get that big ass butane shit.
I'm a cheap bastard. $15 for the torch, $7.
This is $15 too.
Oh damn. Well, never mind. But anyways, so fucking the original torch I had looked just like this one. It was butane was leaking out the side, and it caught my hand on fire. Now it had never done that before, so I was like, "What the fuck?" And so I tried it again. And then it burnt my hand on fire again. And I know that sounds retarded, but like I said, it never happened before. So I was like, what the fuck?
What happens when you play with fire?
Yeah. So that's how I lit myself on fire twice in one day. But I've lit my hair on fire from smoking a bowl.
You're a crazy son of a bitch, aren't you?
I've had my tongue sliced open with a razor blade as a kid playing wrestling.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's really crazy. When Brandon told me that story off air, before we went on air for the first time we did the podcast, I was like, what the fuck is the matter with this guy? Like, Jesus Christ.
Look, it's taboo.
You know what's funny? Let me just say this real quick before we do this, before we do the ending of the show. So when I was younger and stuff as well, we used to wrestle in my house and shit like that. So I had a trampoline, JoJo. I had a trampoline with a net. And I had a buddy that used to come over and we would wrestle and shit like that. And I think I told Brandon this story. So I told him, I was like, listen, I'm going to put you on the side. And the trampoline was, it wasn't crazy big, but it was decent enough. I said, I'm going to put you on the side, outside of the net. I'm going to put you on the side of the trampoline. And I'm going to swanton bomb over the net. And I'm going to connect with you and hit you. And we're going to fall into the actual, grass. It's like, oh, yeah, genius. It's a great idea. I went over the net, cleared it.
And
he moved. The dick moved. So
MJ.
I hit my, rib cage on the side of the fucking trampoline, the metal bar. And I just went boom, boom. I just fell. So I'm trying to grab fucking air. And my father and mom and everybody else was outside. We were barbecuing at the time. So they're like, my father's greatest reaction, he goes, what are you, a fucking idiot? What the hell? What's wrong with you? And I'm like, and he's like, I watched that shit and you absolutely missed him. You missed your target. And so after I finally caught my breath, I was like, you don't understand, I was Jeff Hardy, I was trying to do one of those SummerSlam moves because me and my father used to watch wrestling. He got me into wrestling. And he was like, you're an idiot. You completely missed your target. And you got to remember, your opponent could move. And I was like, that's true. My opponent could move. So it totally blew my mind. And I was just unfucking believable. This was
supposed to, though.
Yeah, he was. And I told him, I was like, dude, don't fucking move. This, if I fucked this up, there was two ways this was going to go. Either I was going to overshoot it and land completely on the grass, or I was going to shoot it and hit the metal bar. And I hit the metal bar, and I tell you right now, it was like that moment in Spider-Man when he was doing the web and everything, and he fell, and he hit the car, and then he fell on the ground, and I was just done. And I was like, oh my God. I'm laying there, and everyone's like, are you okay? And I'm like, give me 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes. I'm just trying to grab whatever imaginary air I could.
And that was us, fucking my cousin Donovan sliced my tongue open with a razor blade.
Oh.
And I had, and then my brother had held him until we got back from the hospital because I had to have it stitched up. And fucking, he was held still. I picked that motherfucker up and I dropped him on his head on the concrete, blood for blood. And fucking, then, and then there was this one time I threw my friend Lil Dell onto my orange. It was one. I forget what kind of fucking bike it was, but it was an orange bike, and I threw him onto it, and his back hit the handlebar, if his spine had hit that part that sticks up.
Oh.
That shit fucking probably hurt. I felt bad for him because I threw his ass off the trampoline, last ride style, bitch. And fucking, then me and my brother thought, hey, Brandon, I'm gonna choke slam you off the ladder, and then you'll land on the mat, and then I'll win the match. Okay, cool. Well, our trampoline was fucking old. Mind you, everything we had at that time was kind of used, so you kind of had to always tighten the springs. We didn't tighten the fucking springs. So when he choke slams me off that fucking bitch, Well, that I go through the mat, him and the ladder come crashing on top of me, and that's when I got my first fucking concussion. The second one came when, in 2006, I thought I could be Chris Benoit and jump off the roof of my house onto the trampoline and do a diving headbutt. Now, our house was only a one-story, not that big of a deal. My mom, she can testify to this. She was doing dishes, and all you see is like a graceful bird, if you will, flying through the air, right? And I'm like, and fucking my head hits the metal round part, that rim of the trampoline. I do a fucking backflip and land in the grass. My mom came out there fucking screaming. And I barely remember the fucking shit, but I remember her just telling me, like, yeah, I was doing the fucking dishes, and all I see is you go, boom, and fucking hit your head. And I thought you were dead, yada, yada, yada. And you wanted to get up and do it again.
He's been broken.
You know what's funny is, like, when we played those video games and shit like that and it said, please don't try this at home.
We never listened.
We tried that at home. And we should have just listened to that warning. You know what I mean? Like, that's the moral of the story. Listen to that warning because that shit actually hurts.
Me and my sister would use the pool as our wrestling ring, the trampoline as our wrestling ring. We would use like old couch.
I broke a water slide that we had at the house because I was wrestling on it.
And bro, when I was 16, I threw my friend Deacon onto my dad's box fan doing an angle slam, and fucking I broke my dad's box fan. And we lied to him for like 2 weeks because he was like, what the fuck happened to my fan? I'm like, Dad, I don't know, man. And he goes, oh, were y'all wrestling around? No. One day it was working.
You know what you're talking about.
It didn't work. And fucking, so one day we got really high and we told him the truth. And fucking my dad got fucking pissed. Now, by this time, he already has a new fan, so he wasn't as pissed. Because I fucking knew it. I knew you fucking idiots were up to something. And he just thought it was fucking cool, though, that I could lift him up and actually do an angle slam. And he goes, okay, that was actually kind of dope. But he goes, don't do that again. I'm like, okay. And so fucking, that was actually the last time I wrestled in the house too. But me and my sister would beat the shit out of each other. Me and my brothers, my cousins, the neighbors' kids. If you came over to my house, we were wrestling. And,
I agree.
And that to me is the testament of my childhood. Like, I didn't have my first phone till I was 13. And so I'm that last generation. Oh, wow. Okay, so we're that
14.
We're that last generation that knew what it was like to play outside. The water hose is where you can get something to drink.
Yes.
You get fucking hurt, you dust yourself off, and you come back in the match.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But you guys ready to take a hit?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, you hit that good shit, pal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm torching her up.
What?
My torch is doing that thing where it takes a shit.
Nice.
Fucking bullshit.
Epic.
I do want to give a shout out to all the dads out there. Happy Father's Day.
Oh, yep.
Yes,
Happy Father's Day tomorrow.
Today now, because it is 12. Today is Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to everybody.
I think I can speak for all of us because we talk about wrestling a lot, right? Let's all be honest here. If you were a little boy watching wrestling, you probably first watched it with your dad.
Yeah,
I did. You know what's really funny? You want to know how I got into wrestling? I'll say this quick story. So my father grew up with like Hulk Hogan and Macho Man and all of them, and he was watching it one day, and I was like, "What the fuck are you watching?" And he goes, "Oh, it's wrestling." And I'm like, "Wrestling? What the fuck is that?" Because baseball, football, basketball. That's what I was into.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, watch this." And I was watching Stone Cold Steve Austin doing a promo, and I think he was yelling at Vince McMahon at the time. He probably stunned everybody. And I was like, oh, that was funny. And then my father used to watch it in his room. So I'd go in there. But then there was a lot of the women, you know, there was the mud fights, the pillow fights, and all that. So my mom would come in. She'd be like, what the fuck are you watching? The kid's only 8 years old. He can't be watching this shit. And I'm like, Mom.
So we've all had that moment when you were watching wrestling back in the day and your family would walk in at the worst times.
Worst times. It'd be like fucking the one dude, Viscera, people and shit. And I'll be like, oh, this is the time to be watching it, you know, but we be watching it. And my mom was like, oh my God, he can't be watching this. So after a while, my father was like, all right, close your eyes. So I'd sit there and I'd be like,
my mom, you know,
like sit there with my eyes like semi-closed, but I'm like this. And he's like, you close your eyes? I'm like, yeah.
Both,
you know, and I like reopen up and shit like that. So, you know, with my father, I was he was the first one I watched wrestling with. He was the first. You want to know something really funny about my father? Speaking of Father's Day, so I grew up with my first ever gaming system was a Sega Dreamcast, and you know I had all like the fun games and shit like that. But then I got a PlayStation 1, and my father bought me 2 games. One he bought me was Resident Evil, and the other game he bought me was Grand Theft Auto. So mind you, I'm like 7, 8.
Did you try to beat up a hooker?
Beat the shit out of that bitch. So you know, I'm playing the games and shit like that. And my grandmother came over at the time. And she's like, "Oh, what are you playing? What are you doing to that lady? Why the hell are you beating up that lady?" And I'm like, "Oh, she's a hooker." And he goes, "A hooker?" And she just was like, "Do you know that your son is playing Grand Theft Auto? I don't even know what that is, but it is bad." And my mom comes over and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm playing Grand Theft Auto. I'm grabbing the guy out of the car, beating the piss out of him, grabbing his money, grabbing his car. You know what I mean? So I'm playing all these M fucking games, and I'm like 8. And my father comes home from work, and my mom's like, "What are you, an idiot? Why the hell would you give your son a fucking M game? He's 8 years old. What the hell is the matter with you?"
8 years old too, bro.
And he goes, you know what his answer was? He goes, "I mean, he's gonna play the games anyway. What the fuck's the difference?" So my mom's like, "You're an idiot. You don't know nothing. You don't know how to parent. You know." And she just went off on him. And I'm sitting there going, I'm having a great fucking time. But then you know what's funny? Like my father then bought me. Well, like I said, I had the Dreamcast, so I had like I had a couple of WWE games, but I had like X-Men and shit, 2D side scroller and shit. And then when I got the PS2, I'll say this, and then I won't speak anymore because I know you want to go to bed, Brandon. But I had my father bought me. You know, I was big into like action figures and stuff like that. So I was like, you know, I got the Spider-Man Tobey Maguire doll. I had the Green Goblin Willem Dafoe. Like I had them, and I was like, oh, this is great. Like can't wait to fucking wrestle with them and shit like that.
This is
my father goes. My father goes, You're gonna like 2 of your presents. And I go, what are they? And he goes, let me grab it. So he gets one, and he gives me this big box. And I open the box up, and it's a PS2. And I go, holy fucking shit, it's a PS2, holy shit. And he goes, you want to see what the games I got you? And I go, the games. And I open
you're just surprised about the PS2.
Yeah, I opened Crash. I opened Jack and Daxter. I opened Spyro. And then I open up a game, and it's WWF Just Bring It. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And he goes, you like wrestling? And I go, yeah. And he goes, you're going to like that. So I go upstairs, I hook up the PS2, and you had to physically move me. Because all I played was WWF Just Bring It. I mean, I played the story, expedition matches, title matches. Like, I mean, just
One of the funniest things about that game is Fred Durst is an unlockable character.
I know, right? It's so fucking funny. But yeah, man, no, it was just like I was upset. Like, of course I played, Crash, and then I got into Jack and Daxter, and I got a whole, different genre of gaming and shit like that. But nonetheless, because it's a wrestling podcast, of course, just bring it. And then, of course, here comes the pain, SmackDown versus Raw. But one of my, besides that, when I had a 64, I played WCW. I played No Mercy, which was really fun. What's funny is Willie just did a stream for WCW and for No Mercy. And now he's going to do WWF WrestleMania 2000. And I was like, dude, you're going to fucking love it. You're going to love it. And he goes, yeah, I can't wait to play it. So I'm very excited to see that. But yeah, man, no, WWF Just Bring It was like the game that I spent days. It's all I wanted to play. It's what I thought about in school. I was doing matches on my notebook, like who I was gonna, wrestle with and shit like that, and just like, it was just hours among end. So.
Oh, fuck yeah. And I mean, and that's what it was for me growing up as a kid. When I wasn't doing dumb shit outside, fucking, I grew up on every single wrestling game. My first console was the PS1. I'm at the PS5 right now.
Sega Dreamcast. That's how old I am, gentlemen. Sega Dreamcast.
You got a few years on me, but I'm 22, so right around there. JoJo's 25, and
wow, I thought JoJo was a lot younger.
No, 25.
Wow, God bless you. You know what I would do to be 25 again, JoJo? A lot. Maybe some Grand Theft Auto things. Like I would do a lot to be 25 again. I tell you that right now. So.
Woo for a Klondike bar, and and so I grew up really mostly on these games: SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth; SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain; SmackDown versus Raw; SmackDown versus Raw 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 10, 11, 12. 13, 2K14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I had All-Stars. I had Legends of WrestleMania, Impact, of course, and then the WWF games as well, into the whole SmackDown series and Attitude and Warzone. I'm on my way of trying to get the first In Your House game, and they had a WrestleMania game on PS1.
God bless you.
Once I get all those, I have every wrestling game available from PS1 to PS5. And so that is my greatest achievement, in my opinion, as a fan, because the video games have always allowed me to bring out that creative writer. Like, for example, I've always wanted, world title matches out of maybe heel Andrade versus a babyface Dolph Ziggler. Maybe putting Io Sky against Bailey, and then having her beat her and go for the world title. There are things like that we're not going to see on week-to-week TV that I get to now bring to reality. On top of that, making my own characters. I'm a huge creative person. So when I get to do that, it's me bringing every idea I can, good or bad, to life, to some sort, like our logo for the podcast, for example. I created that in WWE 2K22.
Oh, yeah.
And it's things like that, these video games, they play so much a part to me as a fan, and to even, in little ways, like I said, with the logo on here. And it makes me think, okay, well, if I didn't like Monday Night Raw, for example, instead of bitching about it, I'll go and I'll play the game and I'll be like, okay, if I had the same roster, all right, what would I have done differently to make the show more entertaining?
Right.
And that, to me, is the fun part of it. A lot of people, they go, oh, well, this sucks. Well, I say this. If you had the same hand to play with, what would you do differently?
Right. Exactly.
But, and so, I mean, video games, man, they're, like I said, a huge part of it for sure, especially me growing up as a kid. The action figures and the games, the movies, the shirts, I had everything you could get. And that's because if I was addicted to anything, it's not weed, it's just business. It's not one thing I can say from the time I was 2 years old to being 22 now. I have loved more than anything else, and that goes with family, friends, relationships. I could never love anything or anybody the way I love professional wrestling.
I agree, 100.
I feel you on that, for sure.
And, I think now I'm mostly grateful with the podcast because this whole world, even meeting you, this comes from professional wrestling. To everybody watching right now, that comes from professional wrestling. And I thank each and every one of you guys because you have brought purpose. You have brought a drive to my life that was not there. And most importantly, you have brought my dreams to life. You brought JoJo's dreams to life. And Dylan, I think I can say the same for you. They have brought your dreams to life.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'll be honest. Like I started podcasting because I got tired of everyone else's opinion. I was like, everyone just bad mouths this fucking company and never says anything nice about it. So I'm gonna be that person that's like, you know what? You gotta look at the bright side of things because not for nothing, there's some shit that's going on that's truly, truly enjoyable. So, no, man, I'm very grateful for what I've accomplished. We're at like 760 something subscribers now. Thank you.
You know what's crazy? Our last show together, and this is how far you fucking jumped up so quickly. Our last show together, this man said, I'm not quite at 500 yet. I just started in February.
Yeah.
And didn't I tell you, bro? I said, watch. I said, you keep going, you're going to reach 500 before you know it. And look at this. You surpassed it. Yeah,
no, it's I don't know what to say. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy. Like there really is no words. Like
here's what's even crazier. It wasn't even a month ago.
Yeah. That's the crazy point. That's the crazy part. Like that's the part that really gets me because it's like we had that conversation where you were like, trust me, one day you're gonna be at 700, the next day you're gonna be at 1,000, and I'm like, yeah, maybe, maybe, because like I don't want to say like absolutely 100% because like if it doesn't happen, then like and I was like cheering for it. Then I get disappointed, and then it becomes like not a thing, and I don't want to do it anymore. So like,
to be honest with you, I thought you thought I was bullshitting you when I said that.
No, like no, I don't like tooting my own horn and shit, but like we've had these conversations off air, and I work hard. I work hard for this channel, and I do a lot. I'm besides working a 40-hour actual work week, if not a little more. I'm on this about.
And just to a point, real quick.
40 hours.
Don't take this as an ego rub. All right, just like I tell JoJo when I tell him I'm proud of him. Don't think I'm just boosting your ego. You motherfuckers work hard for this. You love this, and
I love it.
When you see the work pay off, all right. When you see that work pay off, I don't want you to get too high on your own horn, but I want you to embrace it. You know what I mean? That self-love, because you put it.
That's why I'm drinking tonight. We hit 700, so I'm like, all right, we got to drink tonight, because like like to me, like like to what you just said, Brandon. Like to me, it's I when I started this in January, it was a podcast, audio only. I didn't even consider YouTube. I didn't consider Twitch. I didn't consider gaming. I didn't consider streaming. I didn't consider anything. I was like, this is going to be a podcast only. This is all I wanted to do. And that was it. And then I don't know who it was, or somebody was like, not for nothing, you should try to like do it live, do like a live podcast. And I was like, yeah, maybe, I kind of, played around with it. I tennis balled around it in my head, and I was like, maybe, I'm not a big camera guy. I'm not a big talker, like on camera and stuff. Like that's not my thing. Like I get very shy around a camera. Like I don't even take photos. So like, I was just like, I don't know. I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it for me. So then one day, I got picked up from the pro wrestling news team, and they kind of put that battery in my back, like, do it. And I was like, okay, like what's really funny, like, unfortunately I don't work with them anymore, but they were like, oh, you're gonna do the Elimination Chamber watch along. And I'm like, I don't know about that. Like I told the guy, I was like, I don't know about that. Like, I don't think that's a good idea. Like, like it's just me. Like, I don't think it's a good idea. Like, maybe not. And he's like, no. You're gonna do it, and you're gonna watch. You're gonna like it. And I was like, oh, okay. And then it happened, and I was like, oh. And it was like, people really liked you. Like, you got to realize, like, people really, really, really like what you just did there. And I was like, seriously? And he goes, yeah, you got us, like, 40 subscribers. I was like, 40? And he goes, yeah. Like, I didn't expect that. And I was like, shit. He goes, so you're going to do the pay-per-views from now on? And I said, okay. So then I was just like, well, now that I got that idea, now let me breathe upon it. Let me fix upon it. Let me try to get more and more. So I know JoJo just left, but
I think
we'll talk about what I wanted to talk to you guys about, for SummerSlam. But nonetheless, like, yeah, no, and now where we're at is just like, holy shit, like I've had people from your channel come over and say, yeah, like I watched your one video from the One Shot Killers, or oh, I heard you from High Side, or oh, I've been following you because you were recommended to me on YouTube, and I watched your shorts, or oh man, like you're really funny, like you guys are really great. And I'm like, what the fuck? You talking about me? Like me? Like are you sure you're talking about me? Like you sure? Like you sure you're not talking about somebody else and you thought it was me? Like I totally understand if you did. Like it's fine. Like
but it's you, bro.
Last week of wrestling, and I'm like, oh.
And like,
okay.
And that's the beauty in it, is like, because, man, somewhere starts. Me and JoJo started on a phone, all right, and we were doing the anchor stuff, and we couldn't even see each other, so I'm literally talking to a fucking phone, trying to be excited. You know what I mean? It's very difficult, actually.
Yeah.
And and then we felt like we weren't going to go nowhere with it, but we're doing it because, we love talking to each other about wrestling. We love this business. We just want to do it because it's fun. So, we're just doing it. And then we had reached to social media, had reached 100 subscribers or followers, my bad, on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that good stuff. And I was like, you know what? I wanted to try it. We got invited to the Midwest Marks podcast. They put us on. I seen how to do StreamYard because of what they did. They sent me a link and I could join them. And then, we're all in different locations. I'm like, oh shit, me and JoJo could do this. Yeah. And thankfully, StreamYard was free because at that point, I'll be honest, I was broker to a joke. And so I'm recording off my phone because I don't have an iPad or a computer at this point. I'm literally not even a headset, bro. It was just my phone for the first couple videos. And then over time, Dylan gave me a laptop, and he would later on go on to help edit our intro and create the logo we did for April. And, then Alex Coquito showing us about Restream, the love from everybody that we get, whether it be letters, comments, or messages. It's boosted my self-esteem because for a very long time I didn't have no self-confidence or none of that. And this has made me feel so much more alive. I feel so much more important in my personal life to myself, and I actually give myself that self-care. And that's what I was telling you, like, don't feel egotistical for, giving yourself a good job. Now, don't be a dick and kind of like rub it in everybody's face, but it's okay to give yourself a pat on the back because you're the one working for it. So when you see that achievement, be proud of it. But at the same time, be humble, because it's each and every one of them. You know what I mean? That's watching you, that's tuning into you. That's what's giving you that place to now look. I have a computer and a laptop. I got 2 microphones and a headset. And JoJo has been provided an iPad as well. So now none of us are recording off our phones. We actually have shit. And we're in the process of getting JoJo a microphone too. We made our first $100 on our brand shop, and we're damn near at 800. And this is all in the course in less than 2 years. And and I'm grateful because it's not me, it's not JoJo, it's them, it's God
them.
giving us a chance, man. And and that's the beautiful thing. All these good things that have happened. At a time in my life, bro, I was attempting suicide. I was depressed. I wasn't doing shit. Yeah. So to me, this success is not my success, because the Brandon I know, was fuck. It's their success. It's the success that God's allowed me to have as a gift, and to turn my life around.
Exactly how I feel.
And what I wanted to do for a very long time, and each and every time I talk about this, I get passionate because I want to show somebody listening who's going through a rough situation, who feels like they're at the bottom, that you can come up, that you can be more than what you ever thought you were. And that's why when I told you, like, bro, believe in this, believe in yourself, because you might not be at 500 yet, but you're going to surpass that. You're not going to meet it. You're going to surpass it.
Yeah.
A month later, you're at 700 subscribers.
Yeah. I'm, my word for it is grateful. I said it to you off stream when we first met. I said it to you on stream when we first met. I say it to you now. I'm going to say it to you now forever. I am eternally grateful. If I didn't have the opportunities that I've had to branch out to new people, to meet Willie, to meet Wolf, to meet James, to meet John, to meet anyone in pro wrestling news, to meet any of the fans, to having that moment where someone took a picture of me because they've been listening to me from a podcast from January. To me, it's a fucking ride. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a blessing.
It's man. I'm just, there's no words. I'm just so grateful. And every day I wake up and I see the numbers rise, and I see the comments and the viewership and the numbers, and I'm just like, thank you. And
that's a principle to success, bro. I told you about writing your visions down, but another principle is gratitude. If you're grateful for what you already have, you open the pipeline for more to come in. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty in that, is when you're grateful for what you already have, you open the pipeline for more to come in. So if you can't be like, oh well, I'm not monetized yet. Well, it's a climb. It's not a sprint, it's a climb. So it's going to take some time. But if you're grateful along the journey, you're grateful for what you already have, then you open the blessing for more to come in. So when you do reach that 1,000, you're prepared for it and you appreciate it more because you went along the journey to get it.
Right.
Because anything fast don't last, but anything slow be for show. So you just got to keep that steady pace. You know what I mean? Turtle wins the race, bro. Turtle wins the race.
Yep. 100%. But I think it's time to end this, so that way I can talk to you about SummerSlam real quick, and then we'll go from there.
All right, sounds good. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Check out Last Week in Wrestling podcast with Dylan, Sam, Willie, everybody else on there. Give them a big shout out and show them some love. And please leave a like, comment, subscribe on this video. Share it with your nanny, share it with your mammy, share it with your pappy, share it with your granny. All right. And thank each and every one of you, seriously. I appreciate the fuck out of you. This has been a long episode, but y'all have all stuck with us, and I really do appreciate that. Thank you. And with this said, last hit of the night, 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
I don't have any more alcohol. I drank it all, so I can't judge you on that one. But
well, you're all right. Got a pretty good one. But peace out and good night, everybody. And I'll catch you later.